The year was 1974. The Oakland Athletics capped off the season with their third straight championship as a dynasty reached its pinnacle. Fast forward to today, the A's are once again a force in the American League, standing on top of their division as they eye their third straight AL West title. One of the teams standing in their way is the Angels. After a rough couple of years, Mike Scioscia seems to have all his halos in a row as they are playing great baseball. This weekend we celebrate 1974, and a crucial series between the A's and the Angels kicks off right now. Well, this promises to be a fun weekend of baseball at the Coliseum. We're going to celebrate the 1974 World Series Oakland A's team, and we're going to celebrate that guy right there maybe a little bit more, my partner Ray Fosse. Drew Pomeranz is going to take the hill for the A's, and this has a chance to be a fun weekend series of baseball. Check out the AL West standings coming into tonight's action. The A's with a game-and-a-half lead over the Angels. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's baseball, along with my broadcast partner, Ray Fosse. I'm Glenn Kuiper. So, indeed, you saw the standings. The Angels playing good baseball. And, Ray, it certainly looks like the Angels are back. And don't be surprised if these two teams duke it out for the rest of the year.
Well, they're for real. And I think the biggest thing for the Angels, last couple of years, they've gotten off to very, very bad starts. This year, that is not the case. They're playing very good baseball. And I think as a result, that's why right now it's a two-team race. But can't really discount the Angels. But you look at the similarities with these two ball clubs, the record, the runs, the home runs, everything working, the run differential, all these things are working well for both Mike Scioscia and, of course, our own Bob Melvin. But it should be a great series. First time the Angels here at the Coliseum.
Now, the pitching matchup tonight, Drew Pomeranz and Garrett Richards, a couple of youngsters who have always had great stuff. This year, getting a chance to be in a rotation, and maybe they're settling in, both of them.
Well, I think Richards would like to pitch well against the Athletics, something he has not done well against them. But for Drew Pomeranz, remember down in Anaheim, he came in back-to-back appearances because the starter went short. He pitched well and won. The next time, maybe just pitching on fumes, but he's in the rotation now. Picked up a loss in his last start, but I think you're looking at two very good young pitchers. One, the lefty, Pomeranz, we'll see pitching out of the stretch. And, of course, Richards, I know he wants to pitch very well against the Athletics.
All right, so it looks like it's going to be a good series, and we're going to have a lot of fun tonight, tomorrow night, with some of Ray's old teammates coming up to the booth from 1974, so we will do some reminiscing as well. So keep it right here on Comcast Sportsnet California. Game one of the three-game series is coming up. It's the Oakland A's and the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
to you by Jack in the Box. Head to Jack in the Box and try the new Jack's Blazin' Chicken Sandwich. It's Jack's hottest sandwich yet. And by Toyota, #1 in MPG, durability, and resale value. Toyota, let's go places.
Drew Pomeranz and the Oakland Athletics are set to go for a big weekend of baseball against the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Let's check our game time weather for tonight. It's presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is now open daily. A little cooler tonight, 57 degrees, as the marine layer has come in early. So a chilly night at the ballpark. Oh, the old head on a stick. Gotta get one of those.
We're looking for Bernie.
That's right. Forgot about
Bernie was on the stick too.
Let's look at the lineup tonight for the Angels. Pretty good lineup. Eric Ibar at short. Mike Trout in center. Pujols at first. Freeze at third. Kendrick at second. Rookie C.J. Cron, big, strong right-handed hitter. He'll DH. Chris Iannetta is the catcher. Former A. Grant Green is in left. Former A. Colin Cowgill is in right.
Drew Pomeranz on the mound for the Athletics. As we mentioned, he did pitch out of the bullpen against the Angels earlier in the season. Matter of fact, back-to-back appearances. One, he did an outstanding job. Maybe the next one a little bit on fumes because he was not supposed to pitch the second game, but he came in. And one of those losses result of that. But he lost his last start against the Blue Jays, but he's pitched very well. And the rotation, wearing that familiar number 13, and of course, we're pitching out of the stretch exclusively.
Quick look at the defense for the A's tonight. Cespedes, Crisp, and Reddick in the outfield. Donaldson, Lowry, Cayaspo, and Moss on the infield, with Derek Norris doing the catching. Both catchers will be in there tonight. Jaso is going to be the designated hitter tonight. So Mike Scioscia and the Angels playing very good baseball. They're 30-23, and as we showed you in the open of our show, just a game and a half behind the A's in the AL West.
Mike Scioscia, Mike Butcher, his pitching coach next to him, much happier than what they were the last couple of years when they did get off to slow starts, but definitely not this year.
First pitch of the ball game is called a strike to Eric Ibar.
You like the low strike already from Jim Reynolds, a home plate umpire. Every pitcher wants to pitch down in the strike zone, and it's good to get the called strike with the pitch at the knees.
Sharp breaking ball in for a strike. So 0-2 the count. There's your umpires. Jim Reynolds is going to call balls and strikes. Brian Knight, Fielding Culbreth, and Seth Buckminster. Culbreth at second base, and he's the crew chief. Broken bat grounder to Donaldson, who scoops it up, and that's the first out. So Ibar grounds out.
It's a result of a good curveball and a second pitch, then another fastball inside corner, breaking the bat of Ibar, and a good way to start.
So some boos for Mike Trout. If there's such thing as boos out of respect, I think that's probably what it's about.
And I think we heard it with Miguel Cabrera and the Tigers in town. Yep. They booed him because they said, please don't hurt us. That's the respect.
First pitch to Trout is a strike. Trout hitting .291 with 10 home runs, 37 RBI. So very good, solid numbers again for Trout. Broken bat and hit it off his foot. So he's going to get a new bat. He's going to give his foot a little time to recover.
Well, nice to see that good fastball inside. Second broken bat and the second hitter, and get him off the left foot above the ankle. That angle, it showed it got it with a little bit more contact than the first one. Got him a couple of places.
Exmo brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort.
Trout wants to get a copy of that Exmo, by the way, that one off his body. He wants to make sure he can put that in his archives. This is what happens with Exmo, and
I fouled the ball off 3 different parts of my body.
Right, Exmo caught every one of them with the seams.
So 0-2 to Trout with Albert Pujols waiting in the on-deck circle. Trout, oops, one foul. The Angels are 15-10 on the road, and
They just split a 4-game series in Seattle. Long road trip for the Angels. They were in Seattle, now here in Oakland, and they will head to Houston after the game on Sunday. They'll have a 3-game series in Houston next week. They had a good month of May. They're 16-10 in May.
I think we all agree they're good.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter of how good they can be. Pitcher tonight, Mike Scioscia. He has been around a long time. The only world championship Mike Scioscia had. And
strike 3 call. So Trout has a quick word with Jim Reynolds.
Well, you take it, the backdoor curveball, and took a long time, at least from our standpoint, to see Jim Reynolds make the call. And this is what probably Mike Trout is complaining about, although that shot looks like it did catch the corner, but going into the catcher's mitt of Derek Norris. And I tell you, a lot of hitters are going to be in that situation. They're going to freeze whenever they see the backdoor breaking ball. And Mike Trout, one of the best hitters in the game, just experienced a very good curveball.
He likes to throw it.
Yep.
And it's a good pitch for Drew Pomeranz. Albert Pujols steps in, Ray.
I still say, in watching Drew Pomeranz, and makes you kind of wonder why more pitchers don't pitch exclusively out of the stretch. There's no timing when a pitcher pitches out of the stretch, unlike a windup. And out of the stretch, and I was talking to Kurt Young, his pitching coach, about it, and he kind of had a little smile. But if you think about a pitcher pitching all the time out of the stretch, good running fastball for Pomeranz, you don't have to get in your normal windup that a hitter can actually try to pick up the release. But out of the stretch, you can take your time, you can quick pitch, you can do pretty much anything you want to do, especially with nobody on base. But it's worked well for Pomeranz because it's eliminated a lot of movement when he pitched out of the windup, and so far in the rotation, he's pitched very well.
Make it his 5th start. 1-2 pitch. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. How about that inning for Drew Pomeranz? He strikes out Trout and Pujols looking, and we are headed to the bottom of the 1st. Check out the lineup tonight for the Oakland A's. It starts with Coco Crisp in center. Jaso will DH. Then Donaldson, Moss, Cespedes in the middle. Lowry, Reddick, Norris, and Callaspo rounded out.
Good numbers for Garrett Richards as he starts this series for the Angels. 4-1 on the season with a 3 earned run average. One start against the A's. That was on the 15th of April. The A's winning it in 11 innings. He did give up 5 runs in 7 innings pitched. As Dan Straley was his opposite number, but good location of his pitches. Fastball not overpowering, but he will throw an assortment of pitches and he'll throw on any time.
So a young man kind of coming into his own, Garrett Richards, as he will face Crisp, Jaso, and Donaldson. Coco hitting .246 with 3 home runs and 14 RBIs. Shows bunt and takes a pitch high.
Now that shouldn't be a strike because Jim Reynolds is calling a low strike. And that pitch at about letter high. But what a strike zone, especially in the first half inning. Drew Pomeranz, you strike out 2 of the best hitters in the game. They called 3rd strikes.
2-0 now to Coco Crisp. A's come in with a 32-22 record, so game number 55 on the year for the Athletics. These are 14-12 at home, and they're 14-12 in the month of May as we close out May. Today and tomorrow.
What about 11 consecutive winning months for the Athletics? Right. And it's on the line for this during the series. The first 2 games, the month will end tomorrow. And as you mentioned, 14-12 with the record.
Green, Trout, Cowgill in the outfield for the Angels. Freeze, Ibar, Kendrick, Pujols on the infield with Iannetta doing the catching. So Grant Green in left, Colin Cowgill in right. 2-2 pitch. Big curveball from Garrett Richards. So full count. So one more win will clinch 12th straight winning month. Two pitches, line to right, and that's a base hit.
Time now for the Nissan keys of the game. Worked the pitch count. Hey, Coco just did it. Worked the last time, and 3-2 fastball. Coco hit for base hit. But like the champions in front of the 1974 champions, who won their 3rd consecutive championship back in the early 70s. Pujols got a couple. Got Kazmir, great job the other night. Picked up a win going 9 innings with a walk-off.
First pitch to Jaso is low. Should let everybody know that we will have Rays teammates from 1974 in the booth, right? Sal Bando's going to come up. Joe Rudy's going to come up. Raleigh's just enjoying his good seats tonight. Wearing glasses now. So we'll talk to Sal Bando, Joe Rudy come up and see us, so we always look forward to that. 2 of the real gentlemen, at least from what I've got to know of those 2 guys. Kind of fun to talk to.
Well, the captain and Sal, of course, he's got the mustache, goatee, different color than when it was back in the 70s, but it's nonetheless there. Good friends with Bob Melvin, the A's skipper. Of course, the skipper wearing number 6 because of Sal Bando.
Sharp breaking ball, and that's a strike. So 1-2 to Jaso, hitting .297. So you guys get a chance to visit a little bit before the game. Is that correct?
Absolutely. They had the media little presser over in the East Side Club. Of course, it was more of the players talking to themselves, amongst themselves, to get to know each other. Again, visit, catch up. Good times. They're in the suite tonight watching the game. Be in another suite tomorrow night.
It'll be a very nice pregame ceremony tomorrow. Tomorrow is the full-fledged celebration. So we'll come on the air. The game is at 7:05. We're going to come on the air at 6 o'clock. Give these gentlemen their due.
Captain right in the middle, the blue shirt, Larry Haney to his right. Steph, that is, not Seth. Steph.
Bounce past a diving Pujols into right field, a base hit. Coco's trying for third, and he's going to make it, and the A's have first and third, nobody out in the first. All right, time now for a Ford right choice. Wednesday, gone. It was fun, folks. A walk-off 3-run homer in the bottom of the 9th inning. So the A's had 2 hits through the first 8 innings. They had 3 hits in the 9th inning. The last one, the Donaldson home run.
And you saw a very, very happy Scott Kazmir, who pitched 9 innings, and as he went out for the celebration, that meant that he got the victory, and there's the Donaldson on a stick.
It was a good series. It ended up being a 4-game split between two very good teams. But what I thought was great about the series, Ray, is the Tigers are probably leaving town going, we should have won 3 out of 4. And the A's are probably going, we should have won 3 out of 4.
Right. Yes,
I like that. I mean, both teams really felt like, hey, we should have won more.
But a very, very good 4-game series, and two teams have met postseason the last 2 years.
I guess when it's all said and done, maybe we shouldn't be surprised that it ended up a split.
Missed opportunities yesterday for the Athletics, and I'm sure they would like to look at those and learn from those opportunities they had, did not capitalize.
So the Tigers leave town and the Angels come in. To a pitch outside, and it's now 3-0. So Richards is getting himself in a bundle of trouble with Moss waiting in the on-deck circle.
Well, sometimes you give a green light, but if a pitcher's having trouble throwing a strike, maybe it's not the time to give the green light, because Richards overthrew the 2-0 fastball trying to throw it by Donaldson, threw it out of the strike zone.
And he misses low, and the bases are loaded with nobody out.
Mike Butcher is taking the slow walk and gathering his thoughts, and now starting his trot, which we've been accustomed to seeing for many years as the pitching coach for Mike Scioscia. You know, one thing about the Angels, Cap, and we have seen it whether in Anaheim or in Oakland, everybody wears red. You see the front office people, you see the people in the clubhouse. I got on Matt Weiss because they've been given kind of a uniform. Matt Weiss, who takes care of the umpires, wearing a red shirt. I'm saying, are you doing this just for the Angels? But they wear a lot of red.
Not a closet Angels fan, is he?
I hope not. He kind of looked a little disgusted when I mentioned it to him. It kind of reminded me of him. There's the Trout man, but yes, the Angels wear a lot of red, and on the elevator, and Victor Rojas and Mark Kubas are happy when they wear a jacket and tie because they don't have to wear the red golf shirt. But it looks good, classy.
And you know what? On a more serious note, it's really a pretty good merchandising idea.
Absolutely, it's great marketing. Artie Moreno knows what he's doing. The owner of the Angels.
You are ready to stop seeing red, though, when you leave their ballpark after a 3-game series.
Well, listen, when they make the movie Angels in the Outfield and they come to the Coliseum and make the movie and they paint everything in the visiting clubhouse red, you know something's going on.
1-0 to Moss. 2-0 to Moss. So Richards a little frustrated as he's thrown 11 balls and only 6 strikes.
You know, this is a dilemma for a hitter. I mean, this is a tough, because you want to be aggressive and you figure he's going to throw a fastball, but you have to swing at a strike. And fortunately, the A's typically are very good at swinging the strikes. But boy, this is tough for Brandon Moss.
And he drives into right field. Calgill going back, and that baby's caught. Grand slam in the first inning. Not a bad start.
For some hitters, it might be a dilemma, but not for Brandon Moss. And Garrett Richards got himself in a hole and threw a fastball right in the wheelhouse of Brandon Moss. What a great shot. Mike Scioscia is seeing his ball club down 4 runs with 4 batters in the first inning. It's like a heavyweight fight. You show up a minute or 2 late, it's over. Well, this is not over, but it's a good start for the A's.
First pitch to Cespedes is in for a strike. So single walk, grand slam.
And by the way, the second grand slam was his homestand. The A's had one prior to this homestand, Derek Norris, on Monday, Memorial Day. And here we are on Friday night, just a few days later, and Brandon Moss hits his first also.
So Moss now with 13 home runs and give him 46 RBI. 0-2 pitch in the dirt, but Cespedes waves at it. So that's the first down.
Well, look at this location. I mean, you talk about a great swing by the hitter who's a power hitter. Line drive. You can see this in X mode, fast mode, any mode you want to see it. But what a great swing. And when you are facing a pitcher, just throwing a 4-pitch walk, first 2 out of the strike zone, you have to be so disciplined to make sure you're hitting your strike. And I'm sure Brandon Moss, Shelley Davis, the hitting coach, saying perfect swing on a fastball down the middle.
Lowry towards shallow left, and coming in, diving is Green. He can't get it, and Lowry's going to have a hit.
Greg Green, an infielder, playing the outfield, and that's a ball that's up in the air. Should have been caught, wasn't. Brandon Moss took advantage of it. Jet Lowry gets a base hit opposite field. And the figure opposite field, the outfielder wouldn't be playing deep. I'm really surprised Grant Green didn't get it, but and that guy, fortunately for him, got the backhand and the glove on the ball. Otherwise, it goes past him. But even the fact that he had to dive is surprising. But
and Reddick shoots one into left field for a base hit. So first and second, 1 out for Norris.
And Josh Reddick opposite field, just like Jed Lowry before him. And the big hole with a semi shift, frees way off the line at third.
So Richards having a good year, but having a bad start tonight. So Norris with a chance to knock in a run. Curveball drops down and away to Norris, hitting .301 with 5 home runs, 24 runs batted in.
One of the best hits, of course, the Moss grand slam, but after Cespedes struck out on 3 pitches, the fact that Lowry and Reddick back-to-back hits, because Garrett Richards looked like, all right, get the bases cleared, I'm going to settle down a little bit, struck out Cespedes, but back-to-back opposite field hits by 2 lefties.
Missed again, 2-0. And that home run that Moss hit, only the second home run that Richards has allowed this year in 66 innings. That's almost unheard of.
Well, by putting yourself in a hole with the bases loaded 2-0 count, you're almost forced to throw just the fastball. And if it's a good one, that helps the hitter. And you take a little bit off. Batting practice fastball, but you're just thinking about trying to throw a strike.
So 3-0 as the breaking ball goes wide. That's low, and he walked him. The bases are loaded for Callaspo.
When's the last time you saw 2 grand slams in the same inning?
Before tonight?
This is not something Mike Scioscia wanted to even consider. There's going to be some bullpen activity beginning in the first inning.
That's Wade LeBlanc. He's the only lefty down in that bullpen. He's also their long guy.
I think Mike Scioscia realizes his offense has been good. Swinging the bat, scoring runs. It does not want a game to get out of hand. And sometimes you look at a pitcher may not have it from the beginning.
And the first pitch to Callaspo is low. Last day's cleanup hitter hit a grand slam in the first inning. It was Matt Stairs. June of 2000.
I want to say that was against the Angels because the Padres, they had a big game against the Angels. Stairs did. That's a gift.
So 1-1 the count to Callaspo, hitting .242 with 3 home runs and 17 runs batted in.
I think he might have had a word with Jim Reynolds as well. That pitch was a little bit lower, at least questionable. Reynolds has had a low strike zone, but Callaspo, former Angel, questioning.
rolled foul. That's that big breaking ball that Richards had. So Richards gets ahead of Callaspo. He has not got ahead of a whole lot of hitters tonight. But anyway, now this turns out to be a big part of the game.
Yes, it does.
Because if the A's get it to 6-0, 7, I mean, 4-0, you're got 8 innings to work with it if you're the Angels. If the A's were to blow this thing open big time here in the first, really so much you can do with a comeback if you're the Angels, and they have been a pretty good team at doing that this year.
Well, the key word that you said is first. It's the first inning, and they have 8 bats left, and Bob Melvin knows that he wants to see his club hat on.
2 pitch, and that one is a curveball, strike 3 called, and Callaspo is going to hang around and chat. So it was certainly caught low.
This is probably just as much about the first strike that was called. Now this one on top of it. With a break, crossing the plate, the knees, looked like a pretty good strike, but I think this is, again, the fastball that was called a strike, which seemed to be low.
So now back to the top of the order, and Coco Crisp, who lined a single into right field to start this inning. Pitch number 33 coming up, and it's a curveball down and into Coco.
Strikeouts in the inning by Richards, both to the breaking ball, one into Cespedes and one lower variety breaking ball taken by Callaspo.
Lowry at third, Reddick at second, Norris at first. Another breaking ball and another good take by Coco, and now he's in charge with the count 2-0. LeBlanc throwing in the Angels bullpen.
Well, if it's like Moss, he got back-to-back fastballs out of the strike zone. It's not going to take a long time to get ready. Jaso being a left-handed hitter now in mid-circle, but this 2-0, see if it's the same pitch that Moss got 2-0, but it's the grand slam.
It's hit hard, and it's just foul. Pujols grabs it, but a step into foul territory. So the count now 2-1, and it's a 35-pitch first inning so far for Garrett Richards. Moss with a grand slam. It's low. Good take again. 3-1. Sixth time the A's have batted around this year. That's the most in the majors. And how often do you see the bases loaded twice in an inning? One pitch is outside, and he walked in a run.
That might be as big as run as the grand slam, because you're right. Just to add on, Mike Scioscia going to the lefty, and it's not going to waste any time. So Jaso coming up, so Blanc the lefty is going to come in.
Clear from the get-go that Garrett Richards did not have it tonight. So Wade LeBlanc coming in 2/3 of an inning for Richards. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune Up, your oil change, tune up, and repair experts. Elementary School in Richmond as part of the Science of the Game program, an ongoing partnership between the A's, Chevron, and Bay Area schools. As part of the program, Gray visited a 5th grade classroom to show students the relationship between science and baseball. The Oakland A's and Chevron committed to the education of Bay Area youth. So that was today. Tonight, the A's lead 5-0, and it's still the first inning. So Garrett Richards gets knocked out in the first. He gave up 5 hits and 3 walks.
Well, he just fired a cup of liquid and upset, and you can understand why. He's a starting pitcher, which means he may not get on the mound again for 5 days. And of course, anytime a pitcher goes short as he did, there's always a possibility to come back quicker. The Pomeranz went back to the bullpen to get loose with this extra long inning, which he's very happy with the 5 runs so far.
So Jaso now facing the left-handed throwing Wade LeBlanc.
On a season for the left-hander, we did not see him when the A's were in Anaheim, but the career numbers for the lefty. He is not overpowering with any of his pitches. Fastball tops out in the upper 80s. Does have a cutter, slider, curveball. A lot of different pitches from the lefty.
That one inside, 1-1. Five runs in here in the bottom of the first. Jaso had a single in the first inning. Hit a bouncer just past a diving Pujols. Another good take, 2-1.
That was big in the this first inning. When Jaso's first at bat to find the hole between first and second, and Reddick going opposite field. Norris with the walk, Coco with the walk. So good things happening for the Athletics in this inning. Garrett Richards has a long time to think about it.
Another breaking ball spins inside, 3-1. Jaso waits and he swings and misses. So now it's a full count. LeBlanc's going to have to throw another strike.
Looks like Jaso trying to match Brandon Moss. Open up more than he normally does.
Three-two pitch, and he chased ball 4. It was running down and in on Jaso. So side retired, but the A's do major damage to Garrett Richards. They score 5 times, 4 coming on that swing of the bat. A grand slam by Brandon Moss. Second inning coming up. A's 5, Angels nothing.
personal credit card gets you free A's tickets at the Coliseum box office. Purchase an A's ticket at regular price. Show your Chevron personal credit card and get a second ticket of equal value free. Limit of 2 free tickets per customer per game. Tickets subject to availability and additional restrictions apply. Go to chevroncards.com to learn more and apply for the credit card. This offer is administered by Chevron USA Incorporated.
So the Angels come to bat in the top of the second inning. Freese, Kendrick, and Crone. Pomeranz now a 5-run lead. He struck out a couple in the first, struck out Trout and Pujols, both looking. So Pomeranz faced 3 right-handed hitters, and that one's hit toward right center and hit well. Reddick's on the move, and he's not going to get it. He is going to get it. Oh my goodness. Wow. I apologize to Josh Reddick. I looked up to see if it hit the wall, and he grabbed it.
Fortunately, maybe slicing back to him a little bit. They kept it going towards him, but the fact that it stayed up in the air so long, and the fact also that Josh Reddick got a tremendous jump with a great angle going towards the warning track. Concentration on the baseball all the time. And so many things out there, the signs. I agree with you. Sometimes it's difficult to pick the ball up in flight, but Josh Reddick ran it down to the warning track, and maybe just the Coliseum heavy air kept it in the, well, not necessarily in the park, but at least high enough and in the air long enough for him to get to it. Because the marine layer has come in early.
Feels like an April night.
Yeah.
So 1 out for Kendrick. Kendrick hitting in the 5th spot. He's hitting .287 with a couple of home runs, 22 RBIs.
I think we all agree with the outfield of the Athletics, and whether it's the 3 in there now or you put Craig Gentry in, you put Moss in the outfield, they can cover a lot of ground, and it helps the pitchers, especially fly ball pitchers.
Donaldson backhands, but it's foul. Authentic Fan Friday here at the O.Co Coliseum, right above us. Fans enjoying it there, as they always do on Friday nights. Looks a little thin down there, that Angels bullpen. Of course, they've already lost one guy, LeBlanc, in the game. Bounced up the middle, but Lowry ranges to his left, throws on the run, and that's out number 2. So Kendrick is retired. Pomeranz has retired the first 5 hitters he has faced tonight. And here's our first look at C.J. Crone.
Number 20, C.J. Crone.
So Crone, one of the Angels' top prospects the last couple of years, and now he is in the big leagues.
And some names we've heard about recently because they've been well publicized because of their success, but we didn't see them at the beginning of the season. Especially this young man. Of course, Calgo was playing.
So Crone, lots of power. 3 home runs, 9 RBIs. This is 22nd game that he has played in. His major league debut on the 3rd of May. And he skies one. Foul territory. Moss now fighting it into fair territory, and he makes the catch. So Brandon Moss knows the wind here can be tricky, but he stays with it no problem. A's 5, Angels nothing, bottom of the 2nd.
Chevron and Lagunitas, and supported by Crystal Clear Imaging and Sharp Investments. The match takes place Saturday, June 21st at Earl Anthony's Dublin Bowl. Proceeds will benefit the A's Community Fund. Maybe all those Josh on a stick will come.
Be a good crowd.
Josh.
Here's Donaldson. Donaldson walked and scored in the first inning.
When you think what the A's did in the first half inning, and you look back to yesterday, and Cap, you're talking about the A's and Tigers both felt they could have won 3 out of 4. Well, the A's had a second inning, bases loaded, in a 1-2-3 double play, and Tigers got out of the inning.
Cowgill's back. He's at the wall. He leaps, and it is gone. Donaldson is going to get credited with a home run. Fielding Culbreth, the second base umpire, went out a little ways, and he gave the home run signal, and it is now 6-0. So Donaldson showing that opposite field power.
Well, Mike Scioscia is on the warning track in front of the dugout. He's going to go out and ask, because it is sometimes a little bit confusing whether the ball goes over the line or not. He's going to ask, but Josh Donaldson, you're right about the opposite field power. He gets everything into it. Remember the ball hit in Toronto against the facade of the second deck in right center, and this one going in a similar direction. Pulled the ball down the left field line, the walk-off on Tuesday. This one, a monster shot with a heavy air, and it just kept carrying. Mike Scioscia still looking, but I think, it hit above the line, the out-of-town scoreboard. Now they're going to, I guess, challenge it.
I think the umpires are going to get together, see if any of them got a better look. Our replays, it looks like it's, watch the Chevy sign, the yellow Chevrolet sign.
Just above the yellow line is all it needs to do.
Yeah.
So it hit.
It hit above and then kicked up in a concrete slab there.
Yeah.
No question. So it's a crew chief review. So this is not a challenge. It's just a crew chief review.
It's not taking very long either.
There's no question that it's a home run. And our replay showed it. And our replay showed it extremely well.
Ruling is
so it's a home run for Donaldson, his 14th of the year, and the A's now lead 6-0.
He didn't go through the tunnel, huh?
It would have been a delayed tunnel.
Yeah. Well, they should all stand up and just do the tunnel, you know? I mean, wait for the official ruling, and then he just does a normal handshake. Maybe we're going back to 74 because that's all anybody ever did, was just the normal handshake.
Yeah, I don't think you guys were doing a tunnel, were you?
No,
I mean, did they give you a tunnel when you hit the home run off Don Sutton?
Caldecott.
That's the only tunnel
That's
you
the
saw.
only one we went through when we went home. And it only had 3 tubes, not the 4th that they have now.
Took a little longer.
Boy, he's got some power, doesn't he?
Now
Took the slider off Joe Nathan.
fielder, number 52.
On Tuesday night, fastball from the left to here.
Well, he was a little hacked off that Moss tied him for the team
That's
lead
right.
in home run. So
He's also hacked off because he had a horrible day yesterday, too, in a game that he could have added to his RBI total. So it's good to see the A's coming back tonight after a game in which they could have done more, but this is a great way to come back, especially against this team.
So Cowgill grabs it. Cespedes is 0 for 2. So another opposite field home run for Donaldson. That's his 5th this year, and that's the most in the American
Now
League.
batting shortstop, number 8.
Not surprised to see Miguel Cabrera, which Nelson Cruz, but Jose Abreu. Saw him crush one to right and one to left. But I think Brad Osmus, the Tigers manager, made a comment about Josh Donaldson and asked about him. And he said he doesn't get cheated, but he's disciplined, but he's always aggressive. He gets a foot up, a foot down. He is swinging hard, and once he does, it makes solid contact. The ball can travel.
2-0 to Lowry. Shirley Davis is happy. 3-0 to Lowry, who singled and scored in the first. So the A's now with 62 home runs on the year. Coming in with their 60. It was the second most in the American League. No surprise that Blue Jays are on top of that category.
How about Encarnacion? 16 home runs in the month of May. And this is only the 30th.
That's amazing. Did he hit any tonight, B.I.? He did not. So
he's in a swamp.
Cooled off. 16 home runs in the month of May. So he's got another day to set the record. He's tied with Mickey Mantle. Most home runs in the American League in the month of May. 3-2 pitches outside, and that's the fourth walk issued by Angels pitchers. Hey, now that it's Ace season, the Comcast Sportsnet All-Star Teacher Program recognizes Bay Area teachers that make a difference. So, hey, visit csncalifornia.com and vote for the 2014 All-Star Teacher and check out the finalist bios and video features. The winning teacher receives $20,000 for his or her school. Breaking ball to Reddick, drops in first strike. Reddick lined a single to left field last inning. So Wade LeBlanc on in relief of Garrett Richards. If the Angels had their way, I would think LeBlanc's going to be out there for a while. Pop up behind third. And Freese and Ibar with a little bit of a collision, but it ends up in the glove of the third baseman, David Freese. Another home run for the A's. Josh Donaldson, his 14th of the year. He goes the opposite way, and the A's lead 6-0. A's Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Kelly Moore, proud sponsor of the Oakland A's. KellyMoore.com, bringing inspiration home. Top of the third inning, and it's the A's 6 and the Angels nothing. Donaldson with a solo home run last inning. Moss with a grand slam, throwing a bases loaded walk in there, and that's 6 runs for the A's. On the opposite end, Pomerantz has retired the first 6 that he has faced.
Look at the games that Pomerantz started, with the exception of last one against the Blue Jays, the very hot Blue Jays. They were relatively close games, not a lot of scoring. Tonight, an exception to the rule with the number of runs in the first inning. Always difficult sometimes to wonder if a pitcher knows how to pitch with a lead. Any pitcher can pitch knowing that it's going to be a close game and can't afford to give up runs, but the A's have some that if they get some run support, they know how to do it. Cansby are probably the best in that category.
1-2 to Iannetta. He'll be followed by Green and then Cowgill here in the top of the third. Fastball just a bit inside, but a pretty good pitch. Iannetta hitting .257 with 5 home runs.
That's impressive there. 3-0 with all zeros.
Curveball. 3-2.
What happened to the strike zone? It was high, but like he split the heart of the plate.
Payoff pitch is drilled foul into the seats. Everybody seems to be okay. Another 3-2 pitch and another foul ball. Fastball is high, so that's the first base runner for the Angels.
Knuckle curveball thrown by Drew Pomerantz. It's a very good one, and the A's have 3 in the rotation. See the knuckle? That's a great shot in the Exmo with the knuckle. And then he throws the curve. He's thrown about age 11, and it's worked very well because he throws it hard. And maybe walked the batter because he thought he'd struck him out with a good curveball that was called a ball from a bad location someplace. I don't know where.
So here's Grant Green. Grant Green, chance to play a little bit with the Angels. Here's Grant Green for Alberto Callaspo last July was the trade. Hitting .377 limited time. There's a strike. You get 20 hits and 53 at bats, 3 doubles and the 1 home run.
Callaspo was needed last year. The A's knew they were giving up a future prospect. Grant Green did come up and join the club. I think it was Pittsburgh in a few games, and so you know, was involved in a trade. But he went home. Southern California is where he was born and raised.
Well, we wanted him to get his first major league hit as an athletic, and he did not. He went
exactly.
for 50. That's right. And he hit a couple balls hard, but
he was robbed. Man, it's big leagues. They run him down here.
.2-1 pitch. Hit toward right center. Coco on the move, and Coco runs it down. Nice running catch by Coco Crisp at right center for out number 1.
The ball's hanging up a long time again, and Coco with the speed, as the case with Reddick, tracking it down, and they kept walking over with Monty Moore and Ted Kubiak, one of the media, walking on the field, the warning track in the outfield. It looks big. It's a big field, and even Kubiak said, I can't believe this field is this big. And I said, well, having not been there for a while, but just looking back in and just trying to visualize an outfielder trying to track a baseball, and give these guys a lot of credit that as deep as they play or where they play, and to be able to see the ball off the bat, get a great jump, run down balls, rob hits. It's quite remarkable. Very talented group of players.
A 1 pitch to Cowgill, and now Tuno are making 1-1. So the older you get, the bigger the field gets.
Oh yeah, it's huge. It's huge. I mean, standing around the batting cage, you could never hit one out of here.
Sure you could. Cowgill hitting .276. He's got a couple of home runs, 9 RBIs.
Cody Ross, Ryan Ludwig, Colin Cowgill. Bat right, throw left. Huh? That's it. Active players. And think of the great Ricky Henderson. Helped him playing left field. Left-handed thrower with the glove on his right hand. Run down balls down in the corner. Fired back to second. Prevent runners from getting the extra base. Usually it's the other way around. You throw right, bat left. Here's the backdoor curve. See the height, and maybe that's the reason Joe Reynolds didn't call the curveball when Iannetta was up, because he likes the low.
So 1-2 to Cowgill. Eric Ibar, the leadoff man, will be next.
Iannetta is not a threat to steal. That man is, Mike Trout. But even with the Angels down as they are, it does not shut down the running game. Mike, so should never go station to station regardless of the score.
And that one at the knees. Strike 3 called. Third strikeout for Pomeranz, all looking.
Well, it might be the first time through the batting order, but I think the hitters should realize that the strike zone for Jim Reynolds is down low.
Number 2,
and that
Eric
had the plate.
Ibar.
And according to Jim Reynolds, the height, and you check across in the knees as he went into the stride. And you have to know your umpires. You have to know what they're doing, what kind of pitches they're calling.
So Ibar steps in. He bounced out to third. Leading off the knee. Good curveball, first strike. And let off this inning with a walk. Another good curveball, and that snaps in there for a strike. 0-2.
Let's see how hard it's thrown again. It's such a good pitch when it's thrown as hard as Pomeranz throws it. And look at Sonny Gray from the right side, Jesse Chavez from the right side, and now Drew Pomeranz. He's performing as well as he did against the Angels in the reliever.
0-2 pitch, and a fastball strike through called. Ibar looked at 3 pitches, never swung the bat, and all 3 were called strikes. So the Angels do not score as we head to the bottom of the third. 16 seasons in the big leagues. All started with the Athletics in Kansas City.
Kansas City, you really feel old.
But, of course, the most important numbers are the World Series wins. And in that 1974 World Series, a homer, 4 RBIs. And that has to be Joe Rudy, who joins us in the booth. Joe, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
It's fun watching these kids play, isn't it?
Yeah, they're doing a good job.
Wow.
So it's 3 years in a row. You getting sick of these former teammates?
Never. Some of the guys, we haven't seen, the different group comes in every year.
True,
you got the core guys, but there's a lot of other guys that we don't see forever.
We're down in the clubhouse, and Steve Vucinich and Ted Kubiak, Monty Moore are trying to figure out how many players played in all three. Came up with 13. I don't know if that 13 sounds close or.
Well, I think our basic starting lineup and pitching, and then because I'm trying to think, Billy North wasn't there in 72. No, you weren't there in 72.
There's 4 starting pitchers, and then a whole bunch of you guys. But it's nice to come back because it's only happened twice in Major League Baseball. The 2 teams won 3 in a row, and you were one of them. 1974, Cap, he hit the big home run.
Yes.
To win the game, basically, because it could have been 3-2. But what about the smoke bomb being thrown in left field when Mike Marshall was on the mound?
Yep. Smoke
bomb in left field and delayed the game with all the smoke on the field. Mike Marshall didn't throw one warm-up. He was majoring in kinesiology, and all he did was move his elbow and his arm around. Everybody said, throw the ball. He just kept moving his elbow. And Joey, what, first pitch?
First pitch.
First pitch for a home run.
He had to throw a fastball and then throw the pitch for 10 minutes. I mean, he's not going to throw a screwball. He had a great screwball. It was almost unhittable. And, no, that's one of the few times that my Norwegian mind actually worked.
Well, this is it. And check this batting stance because Joe can get in the batter's box and do it now. There it is.
I didn't pull too many in my career.
But if you're looking fastball, as you said you were, Mike Marshall was out here. He had 101 appearances out of the bullpen. I mean, just an unbelievable pitcher. Yep. But sometimes you have to take warm-up tosses on the mound.
Yeah, that was really bizarre for that long of a delay. I don't know how long it was. 10 minutes or more?
It was a long time. It was a smoke bomb. That smoke was all over the outfield, infield.
Well, I think they were after Buckner because he was popping off in the paper, but none of our players could make their roster. And
that's right.
Remember that? And so the fans were. We got thrown out of third base.
That's right.
We got thrown out of third base. Tried to stretch into a triple with nobody out. And
8th inning of game 5. You're right, and that's to Reggie, to Greeny, to Bando.
Yep.
And
great relay.
Greatest relay in the history of World Series play. But
so let's look at it.
Oh, this is a great play. Delaire's got it all.
He missed it.
That was Billy North, and then Reggie picked it up. Look at Dick Green. Takes it, throws it right to Sal Bando. Perfect at third base, and that was leading off the 8th inning in a 1-run game.
And then they went out to play defense, and the fans out there started throwing everything in the world at them, including the smoke bomb. Letting him know that they had read the papers.
Bill Buckner can't catch a break.
No. Yeah, fast forward another 12 years.
Oh, boy.
With the Red Sox.
And such a great career. It's terrible to have those things hanging on you.
Especially with the ankle injury. Probably shouldn't even been playing first base.
Great to see these guys going the other way.
Yeah.
A lot of hits over there.
Oh, yeah.
Don't have to pull it. It's always also fun when the bases loaded and 2 balls and no strikes to hit.
You know, how tough is that? Because as the great hitter that you were, to be disciplined enough to make sure you get a strike and try to do basically what Brandon Moss did.
Well, I use Gino's terminology in my little box. It's got to be in that little box out there. And if it's not in that little box, you don't swing. And hopefully that they throw it right where you're looking. But no, it's a whole different game. Hitting with men on base. I wish I could have hit every time up with men on base. Sal and I were just talking about it down there. I mean, you think about the number of hits that Sal got a year and how many ribbies. I mean, it was almost a hit per ribby. Because he drove in 112 or something in 74 or whatever it was, and he almost had exactly the same number of hits. Great RBI guy.
as you were also. You know, I was telling Cap, we were walking out the media, and Ted Kubiak and Monty Moore and I were walking. We were looking back in. Now, when you get in the outfield, I mean, you're a great outfielder. When you get in an outfield now and you look in, does it look big as it did to us, or is it just normal for you?
I don't know. I mean, when we walked out there last year, that was such a neat deal to walk out with the guys that were playing in our position, and it just felt like going home.
Yeah, that's great.
It really did. It took me a long time to get there because when I first came up, man, these ballparks looked like Grand Canyons.
So it goes in reverse, so it gets smaller as you get older.
Chaso hit by a pitch, so a little two-out rally for the Yankees.
It's typical being up here. The further you get away from the ballpark or the home plate, and the longer you've been out of the game, the easier game gets, right?
Now, I have to, it definitely is easy up here. But, you know, people remember you were a great left fielder, but you also moved into first base. What was that like for you to make that transition, to go from a position you're very comfortable to first base?
It was very difficult because I was scared to death to throw the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, mostly I couldn't find anybody to play catch with me. You know, somebody could hit a ball down the left field corner. I could throw a bullet strike to second base every time. But if I had time to think about it, no telling where the ball was going.
So, bunt plays you were not.
I was not good in double play balls, man. I told the left fielder, you better be running hard because there's no telling where this ball's going. I had to throw it to second.
But that was Claudell Washington moved to left, Gino behind the plate, and you moved to first base. And
took him a little while to figure out that Claudell didn't like first base.
There's a hit to right field. Coming home is Coco Crisp. The throw not in time. 7-0. The A's lead. So Joe Rudy gets a run.
Another one the other way.
That's it.
A lot of hits over there.
Josh Donaldson, too, tonight, and you may have seen a hit and walk-off on a slider hit it to left field. Tonight, a home run to right center, and this perfectly executed on the opposite field. And, you know, Joe, you said it best. You know, a lot of hits to the other side, and you may hit 25, 30 home runs. You take a lot of those hits. You've got to make it that much better.
So win ball games. You got to do it. The pitchers aren't going to give you something sweet to hit every time up.
So two-out rally got started with Coco's single, and now Donaldson, a walk, a homer, and a single. So it looks like we're going to get a pinch hitter. It's going to be Kyle Blanks, and Blanks is going to hit for Moss. So if we hear what the reason is, we'll let you know. So Blanks hitting for Moss.
Well, it was not a matter of a lefty coming in and taking Moss out. Something happened, and I don't know what it can be.
So Blanks will hit and then remain in the game.
Makes you feel old when you look up the birthday there. He's born in 1986.
Hey, Joe, believe me, I hear it all the time when you see these guys and they talk about, oh, I grew up with Big Mac and Canseco and Ricky, and I'm going, what about? And they said, no, I wasn't even born. No, it's history, but you know, it's still great. You guys look great, and seeing the Sal Bando with the facial, the little goatee and mustache will seem a little bit
I've
later.
never seen him with that on. They actually look really good.
Up the middle, backhanded by Kendrick. He hesitates and then throws to first, and they got him on a very close play. Bob Melvin is going to say, hold on. I think he was safe.
Bob quickly looking back to the dugout for Chip Hale, who is up in the clubhouse. They're going to go review it and challenge it. Of course, the Angels should stay on the field anytime the last out. And of course, yeah, it started to go to second base, decided to throw to first, and
whoa, bang, bang.
It's close, but I think they're going to
not do it.
They are not going to do it. So call stands, a run for the A's on the Donaldson RBI hit. We're going to keep Joe Rudy here for another half inning. Talk a little bit more about that 1974 season.
Chatting with Joe Rudy, who's joining us in the booth. Some more highlights from the 1974 World Series.
Wow, Joe was driving in a couple. Look at this stance. This guy could hit. He could fall out of bed and hit. Captain, look at that. Dark mustache. We'll see him a little bit later. Different color, but it's still there.
So good World Series.
And Sal looks great with this thing.
Yeah,
Wait till you see him. Have you seen him?
No.
Oh, it's good.
Oh, yeah.
It looks good.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Looks good.
Be careful, though, because when you see
I'm going to just tell him it looks terrific.
yeah,
That's right.
it's a good idea.
Ooh, that one's belted to left center.
Get down.
Coco's going to watch it, and that one's off the stairwell of deep left center field, and impressive home run from Mike Trout.
Kid can play, can he?
Yes, he can.
Is he like 20 or 21?
Maybe 22 now, Joe.
It's getting old.
Yeah. Fastball center cut, took a curveball his first at bat, backdoor curveball that he thought was a ball. But Joe, I know you've seen many times when your club scores runs and you say to the pitcher, pitch like it's a one-run game. You never want to think that a big lead is a comfortable lead.
Not anymore not with this lineup, especially.
No, these guys are too good.
We've got too many good hitters.
How did you develop your stance, your batting stance?
Well, you know, when I came up, I was a dead pull hitter, and Charlie Lau, was our first base coach in '70, and I did have a hard time with the breaking balls away and that kind of stuff, off-speed pitches. And basically what he did was he just closed my stance a little bit. He said, let's take your piece of pie instead of right down the left field line. Let's put that piece of pie in right center.
Number 6.
And so basically I didn't change anything really, except changing my stance, closed it up, and thought about every fastball I was going to hit a line drive in the right center. And it really helped me stay close so that, breaking balls, I was still there to pull, and I took all the fastballs basically up the middle or to right. Every once in a while you'd pull a fastball, but most of the time I was trying to take the hard stuff to right field.
I have to tell you, Joe, when I was a kid watching you play, and I remember I remember saying that Rudy guy's got kind of a weird looking stance.
It is a weird stance. It really was.
Now it worked.
Joe, he drops that on me all the time too, because Dwayne is brother. I used to watch my brother Ray play all the time. Give me a break.
I remember thinking as a kid, like, that's kind of a weird looking stance by that Joe Rudy guy.
But that's a great stance. See, but you didn't hit a lot of fastballs, but you did against Mike Marshall after you'd thrown a smoke bomb. It didn't take a warm up.
Yep.
So that World Series, one of the things that stood out when I looked at the numbers from the series is every game was tight.
Yeah.
4 of the 5 games finished with a 3-2 score.
I mean, that
you
was
guys
our
had
team.
winning those games down, though, right? I mean,
all of our games like that. The Coliseum was such a different place to play back then. It was all open. The grass was real heavy, wet. If they hit a ground ball base hit to left field or any in the outfield, the ball was spinning water.
Wow.
I mean, you'd pick it up almost with 3 fingers to keep a grip on it. And when I came back, I sort of coaching with Tony in '86. I mean, even at that point, I never saw that. I mean, just the difference, I think, in the warming and the number of people increased here in the Bay Area. You don't see that kind of stuff. You remember when the clouds used to come through? Does that ever happen anymore? You have the clouds coming through the lights?
It gets cold like it is now, but as far as the low, exactly.
You actually dim the lights, and that sea, ocean clouds coming in and stuff, and it was just so we played a lot of 2-1, 3-2 games, and we had a good defense, good pitching, and you just had to not beat yourself. That was one thing that Dick Williams just hammered us on, was not beating ourselves.
Well, I've said it many times that when I was fortunate to be acquired and came over here, the first thing Dick Williams said, we do 2 things: we pitch and catch the ball. And it's been a constant as long as the game of baseball has been around, that you do that. And there's late Dick Williams, and a Hall of Fame manager, very deserving.
Yep, absolutely. He was a stickler for the fundamentals of the game. When you played the game right or you didn't play. Back in that day, if you had a guy on second base and nobody out, you better get him to third base.
Actually, I wanted to ask you guys that. What was it like when Alvin Dark took over? Because I know he took over in '74. Right. Different personalities, correct?
I really thought that Alvin's personality was such that it was almost like he came in and didn't try to shake things up. Some managers will come in and they're going to put their stamp on the team, and he really, I'm not going to say he walked on eggshells, but I'm just saying his personality is a quiet man anyway, very religious man. And he just went out and managed and put the guys, you know, he didn't give us. You think? I mean,
yeah.
I think that he just left the team pretty much as it was the years before. I mean, because our basic starting lineup didn't change a whole lot.
Right.
And there was really not a whole lot he could do anyways, right? I mean, what was he going to do? You guys had just won 2 world championships.
I think the biggest thing they did back then, which I didn't like at all, was the rotating for second baseman. You know, they pinch hit every time Greeny or Johnny Donaldson, those guys would come up.
What year did they do that?
I thought it was 74 or 5.
I don't remember it happening when I was here. That's why I was trying to
Maybe
remember.
I know it was 72 we did it real heavy.
Yeah, I thought 72 before I came over here because I remember kind of reading and seeing that because second baseman never hit.
Yeah.
And at that time with the 4-man rotation, I think there were only 9 pitchers, 4 starters, 5 relievers, and so you had 16 position players.
So you could do that.
Yeah.
We carried 4 second basemen.
You had to because they never got to hit. They always had to play defense.
And they all played every night, right?
Yeah. Well, you know, you had. Again, you had the pinch hitters. You know, that was where Finley was great. Oh, Gino
and Herb
he's
Washington.
up there. Herb Washington,
Hurricane Herbie.
Hurricane Herbie. You know,
he looks good.
He looks really great shape. Yeah, it was. I still never forget. You know, Billy North and some of the guys who were really fast. Johnny Odom. Challenged him to a race.
Bad idea.
In left field, and you know, by the time John looked up, he was 10 yards behind, and about the last third.
Another shot to left. And that one's gone by Kendrick. And now it's 7-3. So a couple of home runs by the Angels here in the 4th inning.
Herbie ended up running backwards the rest of the
Yes, he did. Yeah.
Remember that?
Yes.
You realize his speed out of the blocks was incredible.
Oh, wow. Well, Kendrick likes to hit the ball the opposite field, Joe, but this time turns on a fastball in. Kind of looked like he'll get to Mike Marshall.
He really kept his hands inside well. Really good.
Well, it's amazing. That's 4 home runs hit tonight in a game in which the air is very heavy.
Yep.
But very quickly, a 4-run game.
I think the big thing out there in center field makes a lot of difference in where the ball carries here. So a few times I played center field, you'd pick up grass and throw it up in the air, and it would just blow it straight down.
Now batting, number 20.
Yeah, you could do it now, but it would blow different if you threw it up in center field. And then if you walked over to left, it would blow in a completely different direction.
It was. Very. Yeah, the ball always carried here within the steps. Steps to the foul pole, the ball jumped out here. But when you got out in left center or the right center, it died.
Well, that's when it was open. And,
when it was open,
And that the wind coming in. It's kind of like Angel Stadium with the big A down there.
You got 2 of your teams on the field.
That's right.
Yeah, I played 4 years down there.
4 years.
Unfortunately, could never stay in one piece. You know, that's baseball. I got off the best start of my career in '77 and got hit threw the ball. Bailey hit a home run and pitcher threw the ball. Now I was up next and he hung a slider, which always drives me crazy with pitchers. That he hangs a slider, which a hitter's supposed to do. He hits a home run, and then I get nailed with the pitch thrown behind my head, and I duck and it shattered my wrist.
Oh, wow.
I won't name names.
Well, you should.
Well, he's no longer with us, so you're not supposed to say bad things about people that are no longer with us.
All right, we'll let it go then.
You're a kind man, Joe.
But see, now that never happens. Because what happened then, you're the next hitter, you get hit, and the guy hit the home run got hit the next time he came up.
Mm-hmm. We used to care of business. Now you can't do that. I mean, you can get a little close inside. And I think that's where the guys that get hit, they're not prepared to get hit.
Yeah.
The ball's going to get away once in a while.
Now, before we're going to let you go after this half inning, but ham radio. Still good.
Still going.
One of the best in the ham radio, and it's coming back. I just read and saw recently it's coming back big. So I was thinking about you, Joe, that ham radio operator is coming back, and I said, Joe Rudy's.
We still enjoy it.
That's
have a lot of fun. Gives me things to do when it's 20 below outside. So.
But when you were here up in the San Damiano retreat area, so you're high enough, had all the ham radio operating. So.
That's where I got introduced to it because one of the priests, two of the brothers, and the maintenance man were all ham radio operators.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
The missionaries. And they introduced me to the ham radio, and Originally, I got into it because Gene and I were hunting all the time.
Okay.
And so we got a couple of little walkie-talkies to be able to talk to each other while we were hunting, and then it just sort of took off from there. But it's a fun hobby. I've met a lot of neat people.
Been doing it a long time. I'm sure you've met a lot of people.
40 years.
40 years.
Yep. Just to carry it on the road with me.
Yeah, I know. But I was thinking about that just recently when I saw that it's coming back in vogue.
It's growing. I mean, we're well over 1 million hams. So in the United States, probably 3 or 4 million around the country, around the world at least. So it's,
see, Cap, that's what guys, baseball players did on the side.
I was just thinking, what do they carry now?
Well, definitely not those.
Callaspo has a tip off his glove. He gets it, throws in time to get Iannetta.
Good play.
So, Joe, thanks for coming up.
Thanks for having
Enjoy
me.
tomorrow.
It's
It'll be
always
fun seeing you again.
back. Yeah.
So, Joe Rudy has been our
One of the
guest.
best.
See everybody.
Best in the game.
Had a lot of fun.
Best in the game.
Had a lot of fun.
They're maybe going to review. Have you ever seen these challenges, Joe?
They're going to challenge us?
Well, Mike Socha. See, Mike is out there, and then he decided, no, he got the thumbs down from the dugout.
Yeah, right. Yeah. They've already seen the replay.
That's it.
I'm not sure I like that. But, the umpires are part of the game.
Maybe if you all had ham radios, that'd be okay.
That's right.
We'll be back. Joe. 3 runs for the Angels. It's now 7-3 as we get to the bottom of the 4th. So a couple of home runs for each team tonight. The Angels trying to creep back into this game. So it'll be Cespedes, Lowry, and Reddick. We appreciate Joe Rudy coming up. You always told me, Ray, before I actually met him, that he is one of the nicest people you'll ever meet, and you were absolutely correct.
Well, there is no one nicer, whether as a player, a great player, or as a person, just a gentleman. And but I thought it was interesting about the ham radio. He actually started, like he said, back some 40 years ago when he played for the A's, and that east side of the 680 freeway up in San Damiano, which is up high, and he lived up there, and so it was perfect for him. He started it, and then but that, nowadays carrying a ham radio on the road, I don't think would be something you would see players doing.
It would be different, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, there's a humbleness about him, which is
exactly.
Kind of makes you want to talk to him more.
Yeah. And Cap would have these what they used to call at the time old timers game. I thought they were seasoned veteran games.
Yeah,
but but Joe Rudy, I believe he could step in a batter's box right now with that stance and hit. He was that good as a player, and even after retirement.
Cowgill, full speed ahead for Colin Cowgill, and he makes a nice play. So 1 out. Time for the AT&T fan photo of the game. Tweet your photo to CSNCA fan photo. Put your name down and your hometown down for a chance to be shown in an upcoming game broadcast. It's all brought to you by AT&T. Lena Stevens from Brentwood says, I love my sunny gray. So, Lena, we appreciate you sending in the photo. Looks like a good A's fan.
Sonny?
Sonny's an A's fan.
Sonny's good. I know that. He is. That's the entire rotation has done a fabulous job. And Jared Parker in uniform, of course, here with the Tommy John surgery.
Ibar charges, bare hands throws, and they got him. LeBlanc slowed it down, and then Ibar came charging in. So another nice defensive play by the Angels. So that'll go 1-6-3.
It's a base hit up the middle, except LeBlanc right there. Just enough for the glove. And a barehanded grab by Ibar. But the bare hand looked the ball into his hand. The bare hand, good grip, and perfect throw to Pujols. You know, if the A's had a 7-run lead in the 7th inning, you might see some replacements coming in, some guys coming in to give guys a couple, 2-3 innings off. As we talked, you score that many runs early, it's almost like a challenge, and sometimes it's harder for the team that scores the runs than it is for the team trying to come back, because if the team trying to come back, it's a no-lose situation. They're not supposed to come back if they don't, but if they do, it's great.
Yeah, and if you give up a 7-run lead, you're going to be the first on the highlight shows.
Absolutely, absolutely. And everybody be talking about the team that came back to overtake it. And we have seen the A's, and how many times the club, it's not been that often, but occasionally getting down early, they said that's not a problem. We got a lot of at-bats and try to come back. And the biggest thing is for a pitcher, well, first of all, for a team to keep adding on offensively, but for a pitcher not to consider the big lead and stop pitching his normal game.
So a 2-out walk to Reddick. So 5 walks issued now by the Angels. Wade LeBlanc can't believe it.
Number 36.
So the A's with 5 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third.
Have you ever seen a night like tonight with this heavy air, the ball is carrying? Even Calgo catching up to the ball down the right field line just seemed like it stayed up forever. So they're staying up a long time for the outfielders to get to them, but also 4 have been driven over the fences.
Here's Norris, who has walked and lined out to right. Sal Bando is going to join us a little bit later on in the game. So we have chosen 2 former great A's players and 2 of the nicest guys you'll ever meet.
Absolutely.
So we appreciate both gentlemen coming up. Sal will be up in a couple of innings. Change up. Sits on the outside corner, 1-1 the count.
Well, maybe there's weather, considering it's the reunion of the '74 team. Maybe weather comes in to make the guys feel like they're at home.
It's a chilly night.
You wouldn't want the warmer weather.
That one misses. 2-1. LeBlanc came in with 2 outs in the first inning. So he has thrown 50 pitches. He's given up 2 runs. Dry foul right side.
Mentioned earlier about the light bullpen of the Angels. It still seems a little bit light, but early in the game there are only a certain number of guys that actually go to the bullpen. They would be the long relievers. Otherwise the guys might delay, go to the clubhouse, and then venture down, get some work done. LeBlanc was there, and worst thing for a long reliever to be in the clubhouse early in the game.
That would not be good.
And they look for somebody, they say he's not here. Well, where is he? Well, LeBlanc was there.
Runner goes, strike 3 called, doesn't matter. So Norris strikes out, and the A's do not score. So we're headed to the 5th inning. It's the A's 7 and the Angels 3.
next timeless moment is brought to you by Coors, the banquet beer. On this date in 1977, former Indian Dennis Eckersley pitches a no-hitter in Cleveland at Old Municipal Stadium, and Ray Fosse was behind the dish for the full 9. And here is the final out. Look at that place.
You haven't checked this final out. Look at the camera angle. Hey, there's a no-hitter being pitched. Let's get down there fast. And they did, just to get those 2 shots. Oh, yeah.
All right, that's May 30th, 1977.
That's right. Memorial Day. And what did Big Brother do?
Scored the only run in that game.
That's right.
Frank Tanana pitched pretty good for the Angels.
Well, the first Frank Tanana, but there were 2 different Frank Tananas.
Yes, there was.
One was the hard-throwing Frank Tanana, and the other was the stylish, crafty left-hander who became a very good pitcher with the Tigers, but different type of pitcher and a very good one.
He could throw hard in 1977.
Oh, he could. But that was a great aerial view of the mistake by the lake, which is no longer there, as they're playing football on that same site now.
There's a line drive down the left field line, and it's fair. So Grant Green is going to have a double. And that's a leadoff double, and the Angels are at it again.
Fastball misses inside, and same with Howie Kendrick. Maybe something that was working the first or second inning, not working last inning with the Kendrick home run, and now the double on a fastball that didn't get in where Pomeranz wanted it to Green.
So here's Colin Cowgill. First pitch to Cowgill, swing and miss. There's a great sidebar to the Eckersley no-hitter, and Ray, you were right in the middle of it, and I know you'll remember it. The start before Eckersley's no-hitter, and I looked this up, and if I'm off by an out or 2 or maybe even an inning, I apologize. But the start before the no-hitter, the Indians won a game in either 11 or 12 innings, but Eck gave up a hit in the first inning and then did not give up a hit the rest of the game, and he pitched the whole game. Exactly. So he went 10 innings of no-hit baseball after the first inning, and then the no-hitter. So now you're sitting at 19 consecutive no-hit innings, and he goes to Seattle, right?
That's right.
And so now Cy Young has the record, and I think Eck went, what, 5 2/3 more no-hit innings.
Yeah, he came within an out or 2.
Yeah, I think it was a 2 outs.
Tying Cy Young's record. It was Rupert Jones.
Yeah.
Hit a home run at the old King Dome down the right field line.
But if you're ever bored, go to baseballreference.com and look it up.
Yeah.
The start before the no-hitter, which would have been, somewhere mid to late May. And it was a 12-inning win by the Indians, and he threw the whole game and didn't give up a hit after the first inning, or maybe it was the second inning. It ended up being something like 10 no-hit innings, and then the no-hitter, and then the 5 2/3 in Seattle. So he got to, what, 24 no-hit innings?
It was an unbelievable run.
And you probably caught all 3 of them. Did you think about that? 24, 25 no-hit innings in a row? Almost unheard of.
Well, that's why he became such a great closer for Tony La Russa in the A's. 390 saves. Went over 100 games as a starter, and then you do it out of the bullpen. And that bullpen call is to get somebody going, because things don't look as great as they did at the beginning of the game when Pomeranz retired the first 6 that he faced, or walked, and then retired the next 3.
3-1 pitch is hit high in the air. Reddick calling off Crisp, and Reddick has it, and that's out number 1. So Cowgill
got the count in his favor, but couldn't do anything with it. So 1 out, and now to the top of the order. Dan Otero starts to throw.
Now batting, number 2, Eric Ibar.
In fact, one of the things about that no-hitter, I think Bobby Bonds was playing for the Angels at the time. And I was so far out from behind the plate. I was in the left-handed batter's box. I figured if he's going to get a hit, it's going to be a slider about 1.5 feet outside. And Bobby finally said, tell him get at least close to the plate.
They were going to have to throw their bat.
Oh, yeah. Eck was good as a starter. Eck was great, even greater as a Hall of Famer as a closer.
Eric Ibar, a ground out and a strikeout. Donaldson comes in a couple steps even with the bag. Well, you obviously you caught Eck when he was young and throwing hard, and you saw him when he was a closer. How much difference was there as a pitcher? Was his stuff the same? Because I know he threw really hard when he was young.
He had great control, great slider, sinker slider, and fastball slider, and of course as a closer, he used primarily those 2 pitches, and devastating slider to right-hander, almost unhittable.
Donaldson, what a play. Backhand, gets up, throws in time.
Wow. The way this game is going, that's a double with an RBI. And the defense of Josh Donaldson, a big not offensively, but he robs Ibar of extra bases with a great play, and then so much confidence in his strong arm, even with the speedy Ibar. Watch as he makes the play, as if to say I've got all day, and he doesn't, but spins the ball, gets the 4-seam grip, and a bullet across the dime.
That's a huge play.
That is a great play.
Especially with Trout and Pujols coming up. So Green remains at second base.
He said a right calf injury, right calf tightness for Brandon Moss.
All right, right calf tightness.
It's unusual. He has been injury-free since he's been with the club.
That's a good point.
So let's hope it's minor and taking him out quickly enough, get some treatment, and be ready to go. What a hot bat! Unfortunately, a hot bat taken out.
That calf thing, that could be one of those that be tough to get rid of if you're not careful.
When our next guest comes in, Sal Bando, we can ask him, because he had one and it took forever to get well. And he probably is now telling Moss, get out, take your time, because they're very tough. It's kind of like a hamstring, any leg issue you have can be hard, because you have to have your legs to play any part of this game.
So 1-1 to Trout. Curve and a good one, 1-2. We got to get Trout. Pujols waiting in the on-deck circle. Quick look. Set up inside. Swing and a miss. High fastball, and Trout swings through it. So a leadoff double, but the Angels do not score. Bottom of the 5th coming up. 7-3, the A's lead. at the Coliseum. But when you got guys that won 3 straight world championships sitting in a luxury suite, now they're having a good time reminiscing, but they're also watching what these new guys are all about.
Right. That's right. Come on. Hey, but I wanted to be right here. This is right where I wanted to be.
And that's right where you should be. Callaspo skies one to shallow right where Cowgill is under.
Join us tomorrow when we pay tribute to the 1974 Cy Young Award winner and one of the A's all-time great, Jim Catfish Hunter. It's a 7:05 p.m. game against these Angels. 15,000 fans will receive a Catfish Hunter bobblehead presented by State Farm. In addition, fans can purchase tickets for a special Hall of Fame autograph session with Raleigh Fingers and Reggie Jackson prior to tomorrow night's game. For information and tickets, visit athletics.com/1974 or call 877-493-BALL. Talk about nice guys.
Another one.
Oh. I was talking to our good friend Monty Moore about Jim Catfish Hunter, who, of course, he knew him in Kansas City, came out west to Oakland, and he said he never saw a player who would defend his teammates any better than Jim Catfish Hunter.
That's a pretty good compliment.
He gave an example. He said about writers would come to him and say, hey, well, you know, what about this player made an error? He said, wait a minute, what about the 3 great plays he made? And now you want to talk about the error? Let's talk about the good plays he made. But, I mean, you talk about a stand-up guy and always defending the players that he knew that played so well behind him.
Trout has it. Coco's retired for the first time tonight.
But he could also pitch a 2-hit shutout in about an hour and 48 minutes. And the writers would go to him and he'd be, well, just asking a question, and they weren't happy, so they go to Reggie, who struck out 3 times, and Reggie would give them anything they wanted. But Reggie was so good with the media, it almost helped out because he could deflect everything away from everybody else. He could handle the media better than anybody. And I think as a result, they just say, go talk to Reggie.
Sure.
You know, I just pitched a 2-hit shutout, no big deal.
Interesting. Nice play by the second baseman Kendrick, but a little bit late as Jaso beat it out. So it'll be a hit for Jaso. He's 2 for 3.
Jaso running very quickly. So Iannetta throwing out the great play by Callaspo. Another catcher in Jaso from the left side. A little bit quicker and getting down the baseline. And Jaso DHing, so smelling a hit, turns it on a little bit extra. And maybe it was the thought in Garrett Richards' game in Anaheim that Richards had a chance to be the winner before Jaso hit the pinch hit home run off of Ernesto Friera.
Donaldson swings at a changeup. LeBlanc starting to get a little feel for that changeup. Yeah, that was quite a series. It was the mid-April series down in Anaheim. The A's won 2 out of 3 in that series. But every game was fun. A's won the first game 3-2 on that Jaso home run. A's won the second game 10-9. Remember, that's when the Angels tied it, and then the A's went ahead. It was a crazy game. And then the third game, the Angels won 5-4 in 12 innings on Iannetta's home run. It was a very entertaining series. All 3 games, 1-run games, a couple of extra inning games. So 16 more to play against these Angels.
What was that note that we had in the open about the total series numbers, 117 to 116?
Since
2002. Yeah, so it's 1-run close games, and the record's so similar.
Going to strike on the inside corner, so the count 2-2. Jaso, the runner at first, inches off for short lead. 2-2 pitch is driven to center. Trout on the move. Trout near the wall, and that baby's gone. Wow. Donaldson is smoking hot.
Central. Right field is his first home run. And this time he gets the tunnel. Maybe that's why he hit it, because the other one was reviewed and delayed, no tunnel, and so he goes through it this time. But what a shot by Josh Donaldson. So much for the heavy air tonight. That's the 5th home run hit in the game combined. 3 by the A's. And Donaldson. Unbelievable.
What a night.
And you talk about a hard swing. Brad Ausmus was correct. As he's watching these swings, and boy, the foot down, everything working perfectly for him.
So it's now a 9-3 A's lead.
And Bob Melvin probably was the first to shake the hand of Donaldson, considering the way the Angels were trying to come back.
Blanks fouls it straight down.
Mike Trout has made some great catches, robbing players of home runs, but he just ran out of room. This one too high over the fence. So a hustle infield single by John Jace will keep the inning alive for the very hot Josh Donaldson. A perfect night.
So Donaldson now with 15 home runs and 45 RBIs, and this is game number 55. Tap slowly past the mound. Ibar cannot handle it cleanly, and Blanks is aboard.
Not that often you have a check swing and you hustle into a base hit, but big man can run. And he shows it on the check swing, able to get out of the box quickly.
Left fielder, number 52.
So updated numbers for Donaldson. He's now tied for 3rd in the league in home runs, 4th in RBIs, 1st in runs scored, OPS 9th. If he doesn't make the All-Star team this year, Ray, you and I are just going to go right to the MLB offices and try to figure out what the heck is going on.
Well, I think the best thing so far is the fact that Miguel Cabrera moved back to first.
Well, no question.
I mean, if it's a fan vote, because the biggest issue is when you have fans voting, you take a number, and of course, Miguel Cabrera.
Miguel Cabrera, if he's at third base, he's going to go. He's going to get voted in every year.
Exactly. And he's at first. He's going to be voted in from first base.
I mean, that is nothing against Josh Donaldson.
No,
that's just the way it is.
Yeah, and
he's the MVP.
Yeah, and that's the system, the voting, and vote often and early and often and many times and whatever. And Miguel Cabrera, Triple Crown winner, back-to-back MVPs. So yeah, he has the name, but fortunately for him and for maybe Josh Donaldson, any other third baseman, he moved back to first base where he plays exceptionally well.
Well, now you can start. There's a group now. Machado,
oh yeah,
Longoria, Beltre, Donaldson. And that's the group that you're gonna choose from.
Yeah.
You may have somebody come in new during a trade or something for next year, but you just think about this year. Those are the guys. Seager from Seattle is a nice player. I don't know if he's in that group.
Well, it's been so long since the A's had a position player make the team, especially be voted in. And that's why the emphasis on a lot of the players. Brandon Moss, of course, he's in the DH role, and there's David Ortiz. Everybody knows that David Ortiz is the DH that nationally known, and Brandon Moss just continues to do his great job.
And you know what else too? I mean, Alex Rodriguez isn't around.
That's true.
And so that helps that group that we talked about.
Yeah.
Machado and Donaldson. Which is high, and now it's 2-2 to Cespedes.
Well, in this one inning, Mike Trout, capable, he's already hit 1 home run, swings at a fastball out of the strike zone. That puts the A's in the dugout, 2 outs. It's a 2-run home run by Josh Donaldson. So the swing of what could have been, and actually reality what happened, is good news for the Athletics.
Outside to Cespedes, and now a full count. So 74 pitches now out of the bullpen for Wade LeBlanc.
Bell, the new bench coach for Mike Scioscia, to his right, was a third base coach. Gary DiSarcina now the third base coach. So Dino said the next step maybe to become a manager. So he's moved on the bench with Mike Scioscia.
So Cespedes strikes out, and Cespedes 0 for 4 tonight. But Donaldson, 1 a night. He's now got 2 home runs. He's got 4 RBIs, and he and the Athletics lead the Angels 9-3.
First 2 at bats.
Yeah.
And the happiest man whenever he didn't have to catch anymore, Gene Tenace.
I'm glad they got you over here. You're right. I was happy. It was great playing first base.
I'll never forget that. As long as I live, to hear you say I couldn't wait to get somebody over here so I didn't have to catch anymore.
Well, we had that discussion in spring training, if I can remember. But, when you can go out and make a trade for an all-star catcher, it makes it pretty nice when I can go to first base, knowing that the staff is in good hands.
So you picked him up at the airport, huh? You were like, sure, I'll be.
I tell you what, if I would have thought about doing it, I would have picked him up at the
airport. you were Ray's biggest fan.
I still am.
Well, Gino did a great job in the '72 World Series, of course, the MVP, but also catching towards the end against the Tigers, and then the World Series against the Reds, and then you're a 3-time world champion. How's that feel to know that you're one of 2 teams and you've been on all 3 world championship teams?
It's a tremendous feeling. What makes it so great is the guys that you played with. Yourself and all the guys that are here present that are here. And unfortunately, we've lost some guys, but they were a huge part of our success as well as everybody else. But it's pretty special to come back here, and it's a bittersweet thing because I know this is the last one, and it's hard telling if we'll ever see each other again.
No. We mean last.
Well,
you're a young man.
Well, I understand that.
But it's the last of the 3 consecutive, so 2014. So you're saying that
I don't know if they'll bring us back for another.
Well, maybe they won't wait 10 years the next time. Maybe they'll do it in 5 or something.
Well, let's hope so. I would love
maybe
to
next
see
year.
Yeah, who knows? We'll do it every year. That'd be great.
How about the buzzer? Raleigh Fingers. That's the MVP of the 74. So we've got Reggie will be in tomorrow. He's MVP 73. You got 72 and Raleigh 74. That's World Series MVPs.
What did they give you for the World Series MVP? What kind of plaque did you get? Curious if it's is it a lot different than what they give them now? I don't even know what they give them.
I'm not even sure what they give them now. But
a watch.
I got a plaque. I still have it, but it's just like a normal plaque you would give somebody, probably a high school kid.
Did you get a car?
I did get a car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you get?
I got a Dodge Charger, and I'm going to tell you a story about that because when they sent the car to me, I drove it for a weekend in Ohio, and I stopped to get gas, and the guy says to me, "You want me to check your oil?" I said, "I wouldn't." Why? I said, "It's a brand new car." So I got to thinking about it. So I said, I popped the hood, and I said, "Go ahead and check the oil." I got no oil in my car. I got a crack in the stinking block, and I'm driving this car for Lynn and I are driving this car around for 2 days with no oil in it. So now they got to tow the car in. That was a Sunday evening in Ohio. I had called up for folks to come pick us up. So they towed the car into the dealership. I had to wait another month to get another engine from Detroit. I knew right then I had a lemon.
What, you were MVP, man. They probably had it on the side of the car.
No, they did. You know what? They had it on the glove box.
Did they?
What's it called?
Glove compartment?
Glove compartment, yeah. They had the MVP, my name and the MVP.
Number 47.
So I sold the car. I had my dad drive it out to Oakland here, and I sold it. And the guy that bought it, I wanted to take the sticker off. He said, "Look, I'm not going to buy the car if you take the sticker off." I said, "You can have the sticker. Just you can have the car too."
It's a lemon.
Well, I didn't tell him it was a lemon. I didn't give him any history of the car.
Quick meeting on the mound between Kurt Young and Drew Pomeranz.
And Kite, as this meeting's going on, we have to clarify something because Gino was so happy about the trade in which he didn't have to catch, but in 1974 in the World Series, are actually in the season because of an injury that I sustained. You ended up catching Joe Rudy to first base, Claudell Washington left field. So you actually got a lot of time behind the plate in 1974.
Yeah, unfortunately. But you know, that was the kind of club we had. We had a lot of guys who were pretty flexible. They could play multiple positions, and you know, I was fortunate to be able to pick you up when you got hurt and go behind the plate and still, keep the nucleus of the team out there in their roles where they can still swing the bat.
And we had a shot of you visiting with Hurricane Herbie Washington, huh? It looks good.
It was great.
Run too.
Oh man, I really enjoyed Herbie. I tell you. He took a lot of abuse,
But he gave it back.
I tell you what, I was talking to him about that. I said, I was impressed that you were so witty that you was able to come back on these guys. I said, most people, under the circumstances that you were put in, would have folded.
Yeah.
I said, but you was able to handle that situation about as well as anybody ever seen.
There you see talking to Joe Rudy, a very successful businessman right now.
Tremendous.
Yeah. So congratulations to him. Charlie Friendly brought him in, and in fact, one of the things that happened, not that.
Herbie didn't get any of those.
Well, no, Herbie didn't swing the bat for sure. But Gino and I both knew that if either one of us got a hit from the 6th inning on,
it was going to be him.
He would pinch run, and we're out, and the other would go to catch, or Larry Haney. But that was kind of an interesting maneuver. But Bob Melvin is going to make a move.
All right, when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change, tune-up, and repair experts.
California is brought to you by Xfinity, home of the most live sports, and by Toyota, #1 in MPG, durability, and resale value. Toyota, let's go places.
So Drew Pomeranz 5 1/3 innings tonight. Leaves with a 9-3 lead. He leaves with 95 pitches.
Went a third of an inning longer than he had in his 3 starts when he first joined the rotation. And Otero's pitched extremely well, ground ball pitcher, and looking for that right now to try to get 2 quick outs.
He faces C.J. Cron. Chatting with Gene Tenace. And Gino, you played on all 3 of the teams. How much of a difference was the 74 team compared to the first team, the 72 team?
That's a good question. I don't even know how to answer that, because every club is different. You know, we pretty much had the same players. Yeah. I think experience is probably the answer for me. You know, every year was, you know, we got better because of experience. The first one was extremely difficult because we were up 2-0 against Detroit and then lose 2 in Detroit. And now you come down to that deciding 5th game, and man, anything can happen, and it almost did. But we had tremendous pitching. A Blue Moon started that game. Vida came in and shut it down, and we win. I got my only hit in the whole 5 games. I was over 15, and then I finally hit a line drive, and I couldn't believe that Willie Horton didn't charge the ball and catch it, because he was right at him. And George Hendricks, with his speed, we had the right guy on the bases, and he pretty much outrun it, got underneath the throw with free hand, and we went on to win 2-1. Took us into the series. But they're all special teams, special guys. They all contributed. Everybody, in each year, we take 25 guys north, and they all knew the roles, and when they got an opportunity to play, they contributed.
Cespedes cannot get it, shoots past him, and that's going to drive home a pair. Freese and Kendrick both score right behind each other, and C.J. Cron with a shot double to the wall in left center knocks in 2.
That's a bullet. And if Cespedes can't track it down, this young man is strong, can hit, and Cespedes, with his speed, went after it and maybe off the tip of his glove, but just could not get to it. That's how hard it was hit. Just got it off the tip of it. About a 14-inch glove, but couldn't handle it. And Kendrick read it so well, he was right behind Freese as it was a race. You better start running, because Kendrick was right there. So Freese has walked twice in the game. He's now scored twice.
And now it's 9-5 as Iannetta hits. Still only 1 out here in the top of the 6th, so the Angels refuse to go away. One and 1 to Chris Iannetta.
You know, one of the things, as you were a member of all 3 World Championship teams, that I think one of the things that people wonder, well, if you win 1, aren't you satisfied? And you win 2, aren't you satisfied? You win 3. But what was the feeling? You mentioned the 72 World Series, winning that one. But what about after and saying, enjoyed it so much, the first one, let's try to win more?
You know, you're right. That's why it's very difficult to repeat, because a lot of players, the sacrifice that you make from spring training to 162, and you're fortunate to win, a lot of guys don't want to go through that again. And I think that's why it's so difficult to repeat. But the group of guys that we had, they didn't have no problem making that commitment again. And then they made it for the 3rd one. So that's a very unique group of people.
What do you think if the club had not lost Catfish going to 75?
That's a great question. You know, I've been asked that, and I've thought about that. It would have been really fun to see, because, you know, if I'm not mistaken, you might have the answer to it. I think our average age was 28.
Yeah.
Guys are right in their prime. Got to have been really nice to see how far we could have taken this thing. Had the opportunity, I would have taken the chance with the opportunity. It didn't materialize, and nobody would ever know the answer.
Well, the thing about it is, you well know that Catfish would start every big series and usually win the first game. And then first game in the '74 World Series, he saved the game, pitching last out, getting the last out to save it. But, you know, when you lose somebody like that, then nothing against Vida or Kenny Holtzman or Blue Moon or anybody else that stepped in. It just, he was the big game pitcher. And but it just seemed like after that season, and he went to New York in '75 for the next 4 or 5 years, it just was not the same.
No, it never will be. When you lose, it's just like losing a Reggie or a Brawley. You know, you got so many people on your team that you can't replace them. I don't care what you try to do, you can't replace Catfish Hunter.
Couldn't replace you either. This guy's good, man. He can hit. He hit so many home runs down this left field line here at the Coliseum. That's unbelievable. He had that swing. We were talking to Joe Rudy. Joe said he never liked it or never really pulled a fastball. That's all you did. Pull fastballs down the left field line.
Well, you know, the good Lord gave you so much ability, you know, and that was my ability to take a fastball and pull it. I didn't have the ability to take it and carve it over to right or whatever. You know, I tell people when I was a hitting coach, I tell people, you know, not everybody can hit the ball to right field. You know, you have to have a swing to hit the ball to right field. You don't carve it, or you got to be able to drive the ball over.
Donaldson will end up tagging.
That's a smart play. Finally, somebody does that.
So, Gene Tenace, thanks for coming up.
Hey, my pleasure.
Enjoy the rest of the game. Have fun tomorrow.
You guys doing a great job.
Tenace, he watches all the time.
I watch you guys live in Oregon.
That's right.
You guys are the best. Thank you. Tremendous.
Thank you, Tina.
Of this year, Albert Pujols hits home run number 499, and then career home run number 500. He did it against the Nationals in Washington. Third youngest player to reach that home run mark, behind Alex Rodriguez and Jimmy Fox.
And the great thing about that, seeing his teammates meeting him on home plate, kind of like college. You hit a home run in college,
everybody runs it.
But those are rare sights, but one that I'm sure Albert Pujols deserves. What a great season he has had to start this 2014 year.
Well, he's got obviously the mega long-term contract. He's got 7 years left on a contract after this year. So he's going to end up DHing, obviously. But he's going to be able to hit for a while. That one hit well to right center. Trout got a good jump, and he was shaded in that direction. So right now, Albert Pujols 24th on the all-time home run list. So he's very close to Sheffield and Ott and then Banks and Matthews. So he's got some big-time names that, if he stays healthy this year, he's going to pass up.
Well, the key is health, and it seems he has it. And
swinging the bat, playing the first base position, which is demanding, but not as much as another position might be.
Reddick is retired. It was tough to watch Albert Pujols last year run the bases. He had the bad foot, and he really could hardly run at all. He was running about 50%.
You know, the best thing he did, though, shut it down, have the surgery, come back ready this year.
Bad year, weren't going to win. Angels went 78 and 84 last year.
It's Michael Kahn warming up in the bullpen of the Angels. You know, you look at A.J. Griffin, nobody would know, but, you know, as it turned out, remember last year he was not eligible or at least available for the division series against the Tigers because of right elbow soreness. Goes to spring training and ends up having Tommy John surgery. Now, you know, again, in hindsight, if that would have happened in the offseason, he would have been 6 months ahead of the game, and now he's looking at this year and, you know, looking at 14 plus or 12 to 14 months, so he's able to come back. So what Albert did, to know that his body was not going to be able to handle playing every day, and the club wasn't playing that well, shut it down, get well, start the 2014 season, and congratulations to him for being healthy and off to the start that everybody expected. Last couple of years, we really don't know. We knew what happened last year with his health, but maybe not before. Maybe the same as Bobby.
So LeBlanc has a 3-up, 3-down inning. That's the first time that has happened in this ball game. 9-5 A's.
Ladies and gentlemen, director.
The captain, Sal Bando. It's always fun looking back at the career numbers of the former Athletics, and not a bad career for Sal Bando. It's interesting, you see his career batting average, 254, and over 1,000 RBIs, and that's one thing Joe Rudy said. He said his hits came at huge times. Yeah. His hits came to driving runs.
Absolutely. And he loved the opportunity to be up with runners in scoring position, and he came through, and a great career, 192 home runs with the Athletics, 6th in all-time Oakland A's history.
Ladies and gentlemen,
the ACS, he had 5 home runs. I remember in '95 against the Red Sox, he put a whole bunch of dents. I think they're watching the Raleigh, Sal, but Raleigh Fingers, he did not win the big hit race. I think it was Eck, or maybe Ricky came in, but Raleigh did win it? Oh, no, he wasn't supposed to win. But Sal was the captain. His son Stefano next to him, to his right, Steph.
I remember Sal's brother. Remember Chris Bando was a high draft pick, I think, of the Indians, was he not?
Catcher. In the Cleveland area. Cole Calhoun for Colin Cowgill.
So Cole Calhoun, who was injured against the A's in that series in mid-April. Pretty good hamstring pull, if I remember correctly. He missed a fair amount of time, and he's back off the disabled list. So now 3-0. Bottom of the year, make it the top of the 7th inning.
Well, look at the bottom part of the order. There's the top and Ibar, and then right behind him, Trout, Pujols.
Oh, that makes this a big at bat right here.
Very, he's 3 completely out of the strike zone.
So all 5 of the runs that the Angels have scored charged to Drew Pomeranz. 3-1 pitch, up and away, and it's a leadoff walk to Cole Calhoun. All right, so here's your race, Ray, and
he did win it.
Number 2, Eric Ibar.
Big head Raleigh.
Well, we'll have to have Ricky Henderson take a back seat at least for tonight.
For tonight, only tonight. Because when Ricky's in the house, Ricky wins.
And Ricky likes it when Ricky wins.
I mean, after all, compared to Eck and Raleigh, I think he's a little faster than those two.
Better speed. Ibar bounces one back to Otero, who spins, throws to second, and they get the out there.
Well, you cannot have any hesitation when you make that play. 2 speedy runners, Calhoun and Ibar, and any hesitation towards second, you might not get Ibar going to first. But perfect throw by Otero quickly. A very quick release to Lowry, and it's the lead runner, keeps the double play in order.
So now it's Ibar at first. It's Gregerson in the bullpen, and it's Trout at the plate. Pujols in the on-deck circle. First pitch to Trout is in for a strike. Trout has struck out, homered, and struck out. Raleigh didn't know he was a saxophone player.
Well, you just know that
Donaldson charges, and it scoots under his glove, and everybody's going to be safe.
Well, that's the speed of Mike Trout.
And that should be a hit.
Yeah.
Because Trout may have beat it out anyways, as great as Donaldson is down there at third.
Number 5.
Well, there's only going to be one play, and it was to try to get Trout, and that's why Donaldson charged it the way he did, and just came up like he just kind of missed it as the ball off his glove. But he knew trying to catch, transfer, throw.
So Kurt Young out to talk with Gregerson warming up in the bullpen. So here's Albert Pujols, 2 on, 1 out.
Tough scoring decision.
They still have not made the call. So we'll see exactly what it is.
Well, they have 5 hits and it's 5 on the board, no errors yet. Should be a hit though.
First pitch to Pujols is a slider outside. Pujols has struck out and he has grounded out twice. Shift is on. Callaspo, the second baseman, is playing just a shade to the left and behind second base. And now 2-0. David Freese, another right-handed hitter, is in the on-deck circle. So they gave Trout a hit.
Dan Otero trying to get a ground ball. Albert Pujols has hit 2 as Callaspo has caught them on the shortstop side of second, but the shift where he stands right now.
And there's a fastball. Good spot. A little bit away from Pujols. Called a strike. 2-1. Outfield pretty much straight away for Pujols. And that's bounced in the hole. Lowry has it, throws to second, and it's in the dirt, but dug out nicely by Callaspo.
Wow. Well, you're thinking ground ball. You're thinking maybe get a double play, and Mike Scioscia looking in as they're calling upstairs to find out. Mike Scioscia gradually, slowly starting to come out. Quickly to second, and man, it's close.
Get a good look here.
Bob Melvin's going to go out quickly. The only thing with the pop-up slide, the front foot must have been up. He got him. He's out. That's a great look there, and that's probably why Mike Scioscia is going back in to the dugout.
So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and tune up your oil change tune-up and repair experts.
Platter presented by Ross Dress for Less. This one-of-a-kind item recognizes ace pitch coach Chip Hale and hitting coach Chili Davis. Those are good pictures right on the platter. Chip and Chili platter will be a great addition to any barbecue. For information and tickets, visit athletics.com/tickets or call 877-493-BALL. You know what Chip said?
What?
He said, you and Kai want an autograph, bring the plate down. I'll autograph it for you.
Don't get crazy, Chip. Fill it up with some chips if you want.
That's right. And forget about the signature. Just some chips and chili, some chili.
I mean, we love you, Chip. But he's the best.
He is the best. So Gregerson's the best. He's trying to get the third out of this inning, and it was for Gregerson, kind of the workhorse.
Facing Freeze. Freeze got a hanger. It's a foul right side. So 1-1 the count to David Freeze, who has hit a fly ball to right and then walked twice and has scored twice. Freeze brought over from the Cardinals. Trying to add a little thump to the middle of this Angels lineup. Very slow start, then got injured. He swings and misses, but he is starting to get a little bit better.
Good slider from Gregerson. Now he needs to go to the one down. This is one that kind of stayed towards the middle, but a sharp breaker down out of the strike zone would be a tremendous pitch. Always when you're ahead of the count trying to get a hitter to chase a bad one.
And there is the slider, and Freese went around. So Gregerson saved his best slider for last, and he strikes out Freese, and 2 runners are stranded. 7th inning stretch coming up. 9-5, the A's lead. A little more baseball left here. The A's leading 9-5. It's the bottom of the 7th inning. He scored 5 in the very first. Cole Calhoun is going to stay in the game. He's going to play right field. So Callaspo, the 9th place hitter, leading things off, and LeBlanc is still out there.
He might get a couple of days off, but what he has done for the bullpen and Mike Scioscia has been tremendous tonight.
He's going to be their MVP tonight, unless the Angels do something crazy offensively. To come in with 2 outs in the first inning and still be pitching in the 7th inning.
And if Josh Donaldson wasn't in the lineup, he'd be the winning pitcher, at least ahead.
Well, even that the 5th inning home run by Donaldson, that just stretched it out. Otherwise, you'd have a 7-5 game. Strike again, 2-2. The Rangers lost tonight. They are in the nation's capital. It was the Nationals 9 and the Rangers 2. Strasburg over Lewis. So not a good ball game for the Texas Rangers. Callaspo to left field. Green reaches up and he's got it. So Callaspo is 0 for 4.
For attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. Number 56.
So with that loss, the Rangers now 28 and 27 on the year.
Now batting center fielder.
The Astros beat the Orioles 2-1. How about those red hot Astros, Ray? They have now won 7 in a row.
Remember that kid named Springer that had not hit a home run, was struggling?
Yeah, we were telling him that he needs to cut down on his swing, and he was like, take a hike, you two. I can hit.
And he has been hitting. It's almost, once he hit his first one, it was like a guy hitting 499 and can't wait to get to 500, and then he takes off again. Well, he needed his first, and he got it. He is hitting great.
He didn't get anything tonight. He was 0 for 4, but in his last 8 games, 7 home runs and 15 RBIs for George Springer. So maybe a star of the rise for the young Houston Astros, and that's what they need. Good changeup by LeBlanc. He's had a good one tonight. So the Rangers, with that loss, now 4.5 back. The Tigers are beating the Mariners 6-2 in the 8th inning up in Seattle. Verlander and Iwakuma were the starters in that game. And it was a 2-2 game till Victor Martinez hit a 3-run homer off Iwakuma. That made it 5-2, and now 6-2.
And it was Victor who had the 2-run double yesterday that made it a 5-2 game instead of a 3-2. And difference in the game, A's would score 2 in the 9th inning.
Line drive, but grabbed by Kendrick. So we'll keep an eye on that game when it goes final.
Designated hitter, number 5, John Jaso.
The Red Sox won again. They beat the Rays 3-2 in 10 innings, and it was an ugly game, and I mean ugly in a sense of there was beanballs and people getting thrown out. Catch the highlights of that one, but the Red Sox won, so Boston has now won 5 in a row. But remember, those two teams fought in St. Petersburg just a week and a half ago, and they were at it again tonight. So a little beanball war going on at Fenway tonight. LeBlanc, well, at least they're tired 7 in a row. 9-5 as we head to the 8th. It'll be Tommy Malone and Tyler Skaggs, a couple of young left-handers. And remember, our coverage begins at 6 p.m. At 6 p.m. with A's pregame live. Complete A's coverage every night on Sportsnet Central and CSNCalifornia.com. So we'll be covering all the pregame ceremonies tonight as the athletics organization honors the 1974 World Championship team. So it'll be a terrific pregame ceremony, and we're going to have it for you. So our coverage again starts at 6 o'clock. The ball game starts at 7:05. See Sogard now in the game at second base. Gregerson stays in the game after getting the big strikeout of David Freese to end the 7th inning. He's facing Kendrick, Crone, and Ionetta, 3 right-handed hitters. Kendrick had a 2-run homer in the 4th inning. The center, and Coco backs up. He's got it, and that's out number 1. All right, here's another reminder. Tune in tomorrow at 5 p.m. as Comcast Sportsnet celebrates the A's 3 consecutive World Series titles. You got interviews with Raleigh Fingers, Joe Rudy, Reggie Jackson, Ken Olsman, Blue Moon Odom, and our own Ray Fosse. It's Legends, Oakland A's, the Forgotten Dynasty. It's tomorrow at 5 p.m. right here on Comcast Sportsnet California. So that's good programming. So at 5 o'clock, you tune in for an hour, look back at those great teams. And then at 6 o'clock, you're going to see the guys 40 years later in the pregame ceremonies, and then you got the 2014 A's at 7:05. So that's a good night of A's goodies on Comcast Sportsnet California, starting at 5 o'clock.
Every time I hear about that, we have to thank our main man, Ted Griggs,
for
putting together that forgotten dynasty, the legend, because he said right before it was produced, he said we cannot forget those teams, and he grew up watching them.
Yeah. I know Ted has said that many times, that as a kid growing up watching and how great and entertaining they were, and he always felt like they didn't get their due as a team. And this certainly helps that. I know you were part of it. It's a great hour show. It's awesome.
And I think also Charlie Finley was excellent in a lot of great ideas. The game, and I think John Trinidad was watching the 74, the first game. He said that was a day game. See, World Series games are nighttime, and they were day games, and Charlie kind of said play night games and multicolored uniforms and a lot of different things. And so when Charlie made the suggestions, nobody liked him, so they didn't like the idea.
Well, that's
so that kind of went hand in hand. But they're white shoes, and I don't think there's another team wearing them.
Gregerson, good slider, and Cone strikes out for out number 2. The two teams that have won the 3 straight World Series titles. The Yankees did it. They had 5 straight. The Yankees again. You get the theme here. And then the A's 72, 73, 74. And then the Yankees did it again in the late 1990s. Those are the teams that got close with 2 straight World Series titles. See the Reds in there. It's tough to do.
Nothing against those Bronx Bombers, and they, of course, huge Yankee teams. But the thing that they did, that was at a time. I remember talking to Joe Price yesterday. 68 World Series. You played in the American League, you played in the National League, 8 teams each. You won your league, you played the other league, and that was your World Series. Unlike now, you have to win division, league, and World Series to do it all.
So Gregerson has a nice, tidy 3-up, 3-down 8th inning, and the A's continue to lead 9-5. Let's check out our game summary for tonight. It's brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Big first inning for the A's. They score 5 times. A Brandon Moss grand slam, the highlight in that one. So 5-6-0 for the Angels, 9-11-0 for the Athletics. Garrett Richards did not get out of that first inning. Mike Trout's got a home run. Donaldson's got a couple of home runs. So Moss a home run, Donaldson with 2, and for the Angels, Kendrick with a home run and Trout with a home run. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. So Michael Kahn comes in having a very good season, 2-1 with a 2.01 ERA. The only thing that's not good in that line was a lot of walks, 17 walks. So Hank Conger comes in. There's the Josh Donaldson head on a stick.
Well, to have that promo every night.
That one's hit to right. That's hit pretty well. Calhoun's back, and he's going to settle right on the edge of the warning track and make the catch.
Took that chance on a day game. That's unbelievable. Swing hard, and the only out he's made tonight has been a loud one.
Now batting, first baseman, number 88.
It's funny, Ray, you look at his at-bats. Home run to right, single to right, home run to center,
yeah.
Deep fly ball to right.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah, and he said it's not the foot down, it's the leg up. And there's the timing. And, man, he lifts the leg up and stays up a long time. And then once he gets the foot down, the acceleration of the bat is unbelievable. On Doolittle. 4-run lead, so you can look at it's not a safe situation, but it is trying to get a win in this big game to start the weekend series. I don't think you look at numbers and saves and all those things to try to get wins. And I think Gene Tenace said it best that when you play as a team. And he was after he was getting ready to leave after the session with us, he complimented Bob Melvin and the team. And he said the key with the A's, you might not have a lot of the named players, although they're named players that are being known now, but he said they play as a team, and that's how you win. I think that's what we have seen on a regular basis, that they come out, they play as a team, and they win. And Bob Melvin, who had his club off to a big lead early, said that same look because he will not relax until the final out.
Blanks came in the game for Moss. Moss with a little calf issue. I always felt like, Craig, baseball, it's a game full of individual accomplishments and individual. You're standing up at home plate by yourself. On defense, ground ball, you're in charge of what you're doing. You're not getting any help, but yet it's an accumulation of all those individual things. And it's very hard for one player to carry a team or completely take over a game because you're only batting 4 times.
Right. Exactly right.
Whereas you got 8 other guys who are batting 4 times as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's a team game, maybe in a little different way than basketball or football.
Well, it's exactly what I said. It's a team sport, team game played by a bunch of individuals. It's kind of that way.
Hey, join us tonight on A's Postgame Live for the A-Team. All 4 broadcasters, Ken, Vince, Ray, and myself. We're going to get together and have an unscripted, and I mean unscripted. Nothing is scripted with Vince Cotroneo. It's the unscripted roundtable discussion about tonight's game. Only on A's Postgame Live at 95.7 The Game. After the game, the key word is unscripted. So Vinny will lead the charge.
That's it, Vinny had a smile. Ken Corrick's just that serious look.
So we'll always do that, have some fun. Caspo, or make that Cespedes Skies one. It will come down at some point. And Ibar waits for it to come down, and he's got it.
Cap, I think to continue your point about the team, you think of it this way, that you go to the plate.
Now batting shortstop.
As an individual, you made it out. But you're looking at the guy down next circle pick me up as a teammate, because at least in baseball, you have teammates. You play golf, you play tennis, you're on your own.
You make a bad shot in a single or individual sport like that, it's all on you. But it's a great analogy that you mentioned about the team and individuals. It's all a group, and that's what you have to have. 25 all playing for the one ultimate goal, winning, and not being so individualized that as an individual you're not going to win a lot. As a team, that's the way you win.
It's like, you know, what would you rather have, one great pitcher or, you know, 3 or 4 decent pitchers? Well, you'd probably take the 3 or 4 decent pitchers. I just think it's really hard to win without a full lineup, not all superstars, but just guys who just can do some things maybe better than other guys. And I think we see that with the A's, because guys hitting down in the lineup produce when guys at the top maybe aren't.
Take a pitching staff, and again, great point about you take one good pitcher, then you go into a series and say, okay, this guy might beat us, but we got a chance at the other 4. And as opposed to having 5 good pitchers that every time they take the mound, you have a chance to win. The guy in the middle is pretty good. We see him Sunday. It's
I think in basketball, one great player can completely carry a team.
Yeah.
In baseball, I don't think one great player can carry a team. It's just there's not enough opportunities for them to do that.
Well, if he does, it's going to be for a short amount of time.
Yeah, a game or 2.
And like Gino was talking about with Reggie or Joe, you know, the guys, if you have a player and he gets hot, and then every time he comes up, he may do something. Conger took one.
Yeah, he took a good one. Let's hope he's okay.
That's a
Conger just in the game.
A direct shot in the foul ball. That knocked him off his haunches. That's Alan Sevilla got one yesterday also off the mask. And it's those shots like that probably affect the catcher more than anything.
3-2 to Lowry, who is 1 for 3 with a single and a walk. And he swings and misses, side retired. So we are on to the 9th inning. A's 3 outs away from a win. It's 9-5 A's over the Angels.
Is presented by authority of the Oakland Athletics and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
Here's tonight's Honda player of the game, Josh Donaldson. What a night he had. There's your home run to right field.
was one that he didn't even get the tunnel because they called it late. Had to challenge it or reviewed it anyway. Oh, he did go through a delayed tunnel halfway. But then straight away center field. And LeBlanc did a great job for the Angels. LeBlanc gave up 4 runs, and there's the man that gave him up to. All Donaldson. Single, home run, 2-run home run. Josh Donaldson, 4 ribbies. And LeBlanc, give him credit, pitched a long time for Mike Scioscia.
And it may not show up tonight on the scoreboard, but it could show up tomorrow and Sunday. So Doolittle comes in. Doolittle has not pitched since Monday against the Tigers, so he needs an inning of work, and he's going to get it. Facing Grant Green. And a quick 0-2. So Green, Calhoun, and Ibar here in the 9th inning. He's with a 9-5 lead. Good outing from Gregerson. That's good to see. An inning and a third. Faced 4 hitters, retired them all with a couple of strikeouts. So,
and the great sliders too to get the strikeouts. Malone standing next to Gregerson. Malone gets the start tomorrow night.
In the air toward Reddick, who's in and over, and he's got it for out number 1. So the A's now 2 outs away from getting their 33rd win of the year and adding a game onto their lead over the Angels in the AL West. So here's the left-handed hitting Cole Calhoun. Remember, tomorrow it'll be Tommy Malone and Tyler Skaggs. 6 o'clock is when our coverage starts from the ballpark with all the terrific pregame ceremonies.
I think the biggest thing tonight, Kat, the fact that in yesterday's game the A's had the opportunities, and throughout the season they've had the opportunities with runners at third and less than 2 outs. Tonight they accomplished something that not done on a consistent basis. So Chili Davis probably had some serious conversations, he and the skipper, about you get those opportunities and you find a way to get them in, because they're big runs. And tonight, of course, with the grand slam by Moss, but also Donaldson. Throughout the evening, guys got the job done. I tell you, Chili Davis played for the Angels, and I still look at the 1993 season. 112 runs batted in without 1 sac fly. That's hard to believe that you go a whole season, and in that sac fly column there's a 0, and you drive in 112. Kept getting hits instead of just getting fly ball outs and driving in the run. So nobody better to talk to the guys about that than Chili Davis, and at least tonight is a good start to accomplish that particular part of the game.
3-1 now to Calhoun.
They're waiting.
They'd like to hit.
Yes, they would.
Good pitch there. Well, the Angels expect to get Josh Hamilton back maybe next week when they go to Houston for their series Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's what they're hoping, at least. And that'll be a big addition to their lineup.
Yeah, you put a Pujols, Trout, and Hamilton up three. That's a middle part of the batting order, especially a healthy Josh Hamilton.
Swing and a miss. So Doolittle gets Calhoun swinging.
That was big. That was very, very big. Calhoun took a 3-1 close fastball, but flailed at a fastball out of the strike zone. And with Trout and Pujols waiting, Trout's in the on-deck circle, and that's where the A's would like to leave him, as Ibar, the switch hitter, will come up with 2 outs in the 9th inning.
So Ibar 0 for 4, and he fouls the first pitch back. He is grounded out a couple times. He has struck out, and he has reached on a fielder's choice. 1 pitch to the switch hitting Ibar, and now it's 0-2 as he fouls it back.
That's Ibar swinging as hard as he can on 94, 95-mile fastballs and just fouling them back.
So everybody on their feet tonight here at the Coliseum. Doolittle kicks and fires, and that one's lined over the head of a leaping Lowry. He timed his jump correctly, just could not quite get up high enough. So Ibar has his first hit.
Had to be tempted to maybe throw something other than a high fastball or a fastball in general, but it went up the ladder, and this was rare that a hitter actually able to make contact on the good high fastball from Doolittle.
So here's Trout. This will be a fun matchup. Trout against Doolittle. Certainly won't be the last time they square off in the 9th inning of a game. Good pitch there. Fastball at the knees. First strike. Trout has struck out twice. He's homered, and he has an infield single. He's got a home run off Doolittle in his career. Swing and a miss. This is the home run. It was earlier this year, and it tied the game. That was one of those wild games we told you about in mid-April.
And you saw Doolittle's look with the head down. Knew it was gone.
To pitch, fastball in on the hands, and Trout just got a piece of it.
I think maybe one of the biggest outs was when Trout was up facing Pomeranz in the 5th inning. Struck him out on a high fastball. And always with Trout at the plate, of course, that time it was a 4-run game. Could have made it a 2-run game, but instead he struck him out. Go upstairs again for the strikeout.
Short lead by Ibar, and the pitch foul back just below us.
I can't remember in this inning, but I don't think I've seen anything but fastballs.
I don't think so either.
And I don't think he wants to think about even getting beaten. Got the jerseys on him, maybe Kansas City.
It's a good looking jersey, though. Fastball way high, 94 miles an hour, so 2-2 the count.
This is reminiscent of the at-bat with Will Myers down in St. Pete with Doolittle. And up to about an 11-pitch at-bat, finally struck him out on a high fastball.
Two pitch. Got him swinging. This one up the ladder and up. Trout strikes out, and that's the ball game. So the A's take game 1 of this 3-game series, and they do it by scoring a bunch early. Angels tried to sneak back into it a couple times, but not nearly enough. So Donaldson, a 2-homer game. Moss, a grand slam. And the A's take game 1 of the series. 9-5 is your final. So a much anticipated series. The Angels' first trip to the Coliseum for this season. But big swing of the bat by Moss. And in a big series, in your home ballpark, get a big swing early. That's always a good thing. And that's what happened with Moss.
And that was big because you get a 2-0 fastball after 6 consecutive out of the strike zone. You got a Josh Donaldson head there.
Yeah, we're going to ask you about it.
It's a clean shaven. You know, he's got the beard going now. So
let's see what he thinks about it, because I think we're going to interview him. Why not? 2 homers, 4 RBIs for Donaldson. And we talked about it in his last at bat when he had a deep fly ball to right field. All of his hits were centered to right field, and you wonder, is that his scouting report going up against the pitchers tonight? I don't know, but it's certainly kind of looked that way, but then again, all the pitches were out there, and he just went that way.
Well, he's just a smart hitter, and he knows, he studies the game as well as much as anybody I think we've seen. And for him to know what pitchers are trying to do, and the fact that he knows he has power. He also had the walk-off against the Tigers down right field line last year. Hits the walk-off left field Tuesday night, but he knows he has power from line to line, and that's tremendous for a hitter. Instead of being one-dimensional, to be able to use the whole field, and he does it as well as anybody.
Now has 15 home runs and 45 RBIs, and this was the 55th game of the season for the A's. So, listen, we certainly hope he stays healthy, but there's no question he's going to put up huge numbers the rest of the season.
And the way he hits, and he's just getting better and better. And we saw him when he came up at 12. Of course, last year it got better and even better this season. I think that's a credit to his hard work and just trying to get better every year, every game, and he's proving that.
All right, and he's standing by downstairs, one Josh Donaldson. And Josh, we were talking about the fact that your balls were hit to right field, a home run to center, the first home run to right. Was that kind of your game plan tonight? Were you looking to right field maybe a little bit more than you usually do? Or was that just where the pitches were?
Well, it's one of those weird things. You don't expect the starting pitcher to kind of get knocked out that early. So, with him, I really wanted to, the starting pitcher, I was really wanting to work up the middle because he's got that cutter, to right center. And then just kind of like the complete opposite guy comes in right after him, lefty who's going to be crafty. And, it's almost the same approach, but a little bit different velo. So, I was able to get a couple of pitches to hit tonight and take advantage of it.
Josh, Brad Osmus, the Tigers manager, just in town. I thought a great compliment. He's talked about you, that you're aggressive. You kind of know what is going to be done to you. Talk about when you get your leg up, the foot up and then down. I know you've explained that before, but how important is that for you, and which part of that is important as far as the leg?
The leg kick, kind of transitioned me, I feel like, to take that next step. And it's all about trying to get the leg up. If I can get the leg up in time and just be easy on the way down. I know it looks like sometimes I'm out of control, but I feel like I do a pretty good job of controlling my movements throughout the swing.
You do.
That is a good-looking swing. Now, defensively, we thought you made the play of the game, and the Angels trying to get back in this game, but you made the nice play on Ibar. That was in the 5th inning with a runner at second. Tell us about the play, because it looked like a fairly tough play, but you make those look easy. Yeah,
Ibar, he's hit quite a few of those at me, because he draws me in because of his speed, and he's a great bunter. And, I always have to be ready for him, because he swings the bat pretty well and hits the ball hard.
Now, you've had a bobblehead, that most unique bobblehead with the Tart catch. And now we have the new Josh Donaldson. What is it? Head on a stick? Is that what it's called? What did you see all these people tonight with the head on the stick throwing it? I mean, how does that make you feel?
It made me realize I'm a lot uglier than what I am.
I'm looking at you right here. All right.
You're clean shaven here. See the clean shaven.
Come on, see?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're chanting, they're chanting MVP for you, and you got one of these tonight. This is a good night for Josh Donaldson.
Thank you, guys.
Doing great. Keep it going. Keep it going.
I think he had enough of us.
He closed this interview before we did. We didn't get a chance to say, nice going, thanks for coming around. He just said, see you.
Well, you know what? So, big night for him. But the Moss swing of the bat kind of set the tone, and we hope he's okay. He left after a couple innings, a little bit of a calf issue, but that certainly was probably the biggest swing in the game from an A's hitter.
And the biggest sigh of relief comes from the manager, Bob Melvin, when this game was over. Score early. They did score often, and that helped them win the game. But scoring that many early, you'd want to make sure you add on this club, the Angels, too good to quit.
Yeah, it is two good teams, but tonight it was the A's who prevailed. They win it by a final score of 9-5. You've been watching Oakland A's baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California. Don't go away. A's postgame live with Brody and Shooty is set to go.